Hello everyone, welcome back to CPL 7 Grand Finals. I'm Nebla, I'm here with 6 Zeros. We are continuing the action. As we saw last time, these two teams tied up 2-2, but we are here to bring you the Tier 0 games, the best these teams have to offer. I'm very excited. 6 Zero, what do you think?
I mean, it's Tier 0 play. It never lets us down, and especially since we saw some very interesting builds and strategies with our Part 1 that we did yesterday, which you can check out the VODs anytime if you missed it for some reason, but yeah, I'm expecting, I want to see if there's, the coaches manipulating in some weird stuff for the finals, or we're just going to get that solid play we are so accustomed to from Tier 0.
I think we are going to see some sick games. I can't wait for this, and it's even more hype, I think, that so far these teams are tied up. Let's jump into that first game and talk about that more. But I think this is going to be a very exciting series. Let's go. Alright, in the bottom left, in the green, we have Jellymang. And in the top left, in the yellow, we have Luka Doncic, aka NGZ. Here on Polypoid, of course. Same map series as yesterday. Here we go with the Tier 0s. I can't wait. NGZ, of course, for DestrucToads, and Jellymang here for flying SCVs.
Yeah, and honestly, every time I watch Jellymang play, it's just impressive because they're not that, they're relatively new to the CPL scene, and they flew up real quick and how fast they've gotten better at this game.
Absolutely. So. Absolutely. That is an excellent point. I believe they're in Tier 2, right, at some point? I'm not sure how many seasons ago that was.
I think they started Tier 3, actually.
Really?
Or at least a little tiny bit.
Wow.
A little tiny, I think they promoted them right the hell out of there, but you know what? Still, that just shows CPL works. We always got a couple of those cases every year where it's man, these guys, they're so good. Why are they so good? And look, even this little scout going through the high ground because that's exactly what you want to see. And great information, although that doesn't mean the Zerg knows where the Protoss is as well.
Yes, but I feel like Protoss generally in the early game is more on the defensive here, so they want to know that more. I mean, look, he's just get his pylon. Oh, is he looking for a Nexus first here? Because I noticed he has to set the probe to get the Forge at a fast timing. Although, that said, I guess with this early skate should be fine. Okay, so we do see an overpull, of course. And I think he's going to throw down a gateway here. Oh, well...
No, it should be a Forge. At this point, if you wanted to go for the gateway, you would have...
Right.
You want to start that as soon as possible to get the cell production. You really cannot delay that. You can delay the Forge while the cans are up, you're good.
If it turns out to be 9 ball speed, which is better, Forge or Gateway? Just wondering.
I died at both of them. I'm not the person to ask.
Fair enough. Probe having a straight up fight with this drone. I think this might be a bit of a mistake. Wait, who's going to win this? Oh, the Probe actually wins. Well calculated by Jellymang there. But he has to be careful. Another drone coming down. Oh, he puts down the pylon. Excellent work there. Nice moving shot by NGZ. Almost took it out, but it does get away. Really nice work so far from Jellymang. Getting that one drone is actually a huge deal. Look, that going straight into the cannon. Doesn't want to risk anything when you put that pylon down already. You're compelling Zerg to make those 6 slings. I'm loving the opening from Jellymang so far.
Yeah, honestly, the respect cannons, I know I just blocked the crap out of your hatchery. Look at him! This animal!
No, he just goes taking him a natural. I mean, I'm not so sure about this one, but look at this. He cancelled the one at the natural, and, the adrenaline just coming down here. Surely not. Surely not. Oh, my God.
What an animal.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Where's he going to go? Where are you going now, NGZ? You can't take the 12 and the mineral only. Oh, he's just going to scout. It's a scout. I don't care. Oh,
yeah, he is at least. He does cancel the pylon again at the 12, so we do finally see a hatchery go down. But the fact that we're this late in, the second hatchery just getting started, and Luka was not getting deterred. Usually, a quick reaction you see to this is I'm going to get 6 lings, so I can kill your pylon. I can put pressure on, try to catch back up. And we actually see 3 hatcheries, but none of them at the natural. I wouldn't be surprised to see a big early 4 hatchery kind of play. Maybe that the 5 hatch Hydra before lair. Skip the spire.
Well, I don't think you can wait that long. I think you have to go into 3 hatch Hydra here, because if Protoss comes out just with 6 Zealots or whatever with speed, what are you going to do against that when you're so spread out like this? You can't build static defense at this ramp. And then you have these other 2 locations, 12 with 2 ramps, and the minor only obviously wide open. I think it would be way too hard to defend if Jellymang just goes straight into Zealots here. Oh, well.
Well, keep in mind, Luka does have that Overlord Scout. He sees that the gateway's not even complete. He's not under immediate threat.
That is true. We did see 2 cannons coming out from Jellymang before Gateway here. Presumably just going, well, alright, I've done the damage of the block. I don't want to get killed by Ling backstab now. But the thing is, NGZ actually delayed Lings for a ridiculous amount of time and only made 2. So really trying to come back as best they can. I mean, it's really going to work with this second cannon going down. That's an excellent move, actually.
Yeah, I'm actually liking this build so far from Zerg. Like, a good adaptation considering what's happened. It ends up being the 4 hatch before gas. Gonna really set you up in a good spot. As long as you can, you know, like, nothing immediately is gonna happen to really put you behind the gun, but with the gateway being delayed, like, you can see that's just not gonna be the case.
Well, you're absolutely right about, like, going 4 hatchery, like, Hydra on hatch tech is definitely an option here. I think he might actually be going for that. Well, okay, hang on, he's just stunning his gas. But yeah, that would be a good transition given how this is going. Another probe scout coming out. I mean, maybe it's not even necessary because he's done an excellent job keeping this one alive. And there are only 2 lings on the map, right? Oh, look at this zealot coming across. He's got a little ankle biter though after him.
And still no more lings being made. Still just drones all the time. Luca wants to catch back up and gives a good spot. Finally starting to add on a little bit more. Probe does get killed off by some drones over at that. What is this? The 4th base? Like, I'm calling them what they normally would be, not what they are in this game.
Well, this is the 3rd base.
The order's all crazy.
I'm gonna call it the 3rd because honestly, Zerg often takes this as the 3rd because it's pretty easy to defend. Obviously, once you get slow. Because look at this, he's just gonna turn around. Just like, all right, I forced my lings, thank you. Cost him a probe, but that's not so bad. Or is he gonna turn around? I mean, he's still gonna send the scan here. That's actually the original scout probe. The one that died was the other one that sent. This guy's still alive. My God.
Ooh, and I like that. Making the Hydra dead and making it up at the 12. That's probably the spot that it won't get scouted at. More lanes being made, blocking the ramp, so really going to start playing in the dark here. We do see the Stargate, so Corsairs will be able to help scout. And with that delayed, ooh, the 2 Zealots up at the 3rd, actually doing some pretty good damage here. Not enough lanes to deter this. Should be able to at least put some pressure on. But he's going to leave quite quickly, make sure nothing happens, and does find that Hydra net.
Yeah, I think it is wise to leave, because, I mean, he got some kills, didn't lose anything, and, like, that one's low. He knows Zerg's going to make a lot of these responses. Oh, the probe does finally fall. But yeah, Link's going to finish before too long as well, and then that Zealot aggression really is not worthwhile. But yeah, so the thing about this 4-hatch Hydra is I don't think it's necessarily sneaky, because I think Protoss should know that if you're going for 4 hatcheries, you're going to go for something like this. So I don't think he's going to be caught unawares. Look at that, already building, like, an extra cannon here. Presumably one more going to go up sooner or later. And this Corsair is going to come out and scat everything. And you know, this Corsair is quite difficult for Zerg to deal with because he cannot get Overlord speed, he cannot get Scourge, there's no lair.
Yeah, even just with builds like this, even just the supply block alone can be pretty helpful here. Decent amount of lanes on the map, and that speed is done now, so we'll see if they want to try to put any pressure on with 3 cans, though. I don't think you're going for a run by or anything. Jellymang is just building up the nice army, though. Zealot speed just getting started, yeah. +1 halfway done, and these Corsairs, like you're saying, there's no real answer to them, so as long as they're careful with how they use them, we're looking at some big damage, potentially.
Yeah, and just so far, Jellymang's picking the low-hanging fruit, flew through some Hydras there, but not trying to commit and desperately killing the Overlords, getting this one out on the map, so if that's going to be 2 there, and you generally say, like, you know, if you get 1, that's okay. If you lose 2 as Zerg, you're kind of going, But this game
you gotta think about.
Sorry.
You gotta think about the next step too. With the Temple Archives on the way,
yeah,
and no air tech, so you can't get speed overlords. If you clear out an overlord, how are you gonna pressure when DTs are right there as an option?
That's absolutely right. And yeah, so Jellymang really has a lot of safety here for sure. Ooh, careful. I mean, look, if he really wanted to, he could have scored a bunch of overlords over here. But then if his bust fails, he loses so many overlords. It's not going to be pretty. So still no lair even started here. Instead, we have a 5th hatchery coming up. You know, I'm not sure I dislike this choice, but it is going to lead to some difficulties here for Zerg. It's just going to deepen what we were already talking about, the fact that you don't have Overlord speed, you don't have Scourge. And, you know, I'm surprised Jellymang didn't continue to make Corsairs here. I really think he could have got a lot out of that, trying to get those 2, but he swiftly runs away from those Hydras. Not sure why this Overlord's going this way, but he's going to kill that.
Yeah, I think what the choice was, he cut the Corsairs to get the Templar archives up like as soon as possible. Didn't want to risk delaying Storm. It did end up being a big Hydra kind of all in here. So the 2 Corsairs should be enough to do damage. You can add on more later if he wants to really put the pressure on. But I like that he is being conservative, realizing the immediate threat that could happen. Just making sure they're prepared for it. Storm is done. DTs are being produced. Or no, Storm's not done, but it's getting close at least.
DTs certainly have been produced. Where'd it go? There it is. He's on his way. Now, yeah, these Overlords, I mean, are still alive in this 12, though, but there's a bunch of Zealots coming, and all they have to do, really, is distract the Hydras, and the Corsairs can pounce on those Overlords, looking for Overlords in the natural and the main, but not finding any. Oh, the Hydra's moving around trying to chase these Corsairs. Corsairs have to be super careful, they're very injured. Okay, it only takes 1 hit, runs away, but look how many Zealots are hitting the 12 right now. The Hydras are out of position. This is probably going to do huge damage. If he takes out the Hydra Den, that'll be a big blow to the Zerg here. Let alone the drones. Zerg needs to pull these drones away. Oh, gosh.
And the DT's trying to get some stuff done at the 3rd base. Overlords do detect and there were a couple Hydras, but you got a couple drone kills for the trouble. The Zealots do at least stop all the mining. Sunken goes down. Hydras are getting reinforced, so it looks like the threat will be cleaned up eventually. And I'm trying to figure out if that was actually worth it for Jelly. Like, he got some good damage done, but losing the threat of all those Zealots now, like, it's kind of... I don't know if it was worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's kind of iffy, isn't it? Because Zerg has a crap ton of drones, so losing that many doesn't actually hurt as much as you'd think it would. My god, he has 43 drones! What is going on in this game? I think he can actually sustain that loss, and the counterattack looks extremely scary right now of what Protoss has here, which is not very much. I think that tech would have been better if he brought the Corsairs to the 12 and tried to take the Overlords at the same time. Oh god, he needs to storm that clump of Hydras. You know, fair enough to try and hit the DT in an alternate location, but I think he should have known there were plenty of Overlords here, so I'm not so sure about that. But yeah, definitely a bit low on army now, the Protoss is. I don't know, with good storms, this army can definitely win, but will there be good storms?
I mean, it's tier 0. I assume it would be. It's going to be up to the Hydras to dodge out if they want to.
Oh, you assume too much, my friend. These Templars out of position. Okay, they get pulled back. If he went straight onto the high ground there, I think he would have actually won the game, but he couldn't see them, of course. So yeah, this Zerg I'm not even going to try it. Just going to pull right back there. One Corsair did get taken out, the other one very low, but honestly, they've done their work. Spire is on the way, though. You don't want to end up with no Corsairs and the meters come out. I mean, what I was saying about making more Corsairs earlier, I guess it's fair enough if you make 2 Corsairs and they have this disproportionate impact. Every other one you make is probably going to be diminishing returns. Look at that, he's still running around. Oh, no, he's dead. There you go.
Well, I think there's, like, it's the kind of player you are, right? Like,
yeah.
There's some players that are just like, I'm just going to keep making Corsairs because the problem doesn't get better. Like, if I keep adding on, like, you just don't get to have Overlords. Then, like, those are the kind of people that also just will always get, like, +1 air. Like, it's just like, nah, I'm going to make the value out of these happen. And for some of them, it is literally just a means to an end. I'm going to discourage you from going mutas, and the moment you show me you're not going them, I don't care about these things, which I feel like we do see a lot of CPL Protoss. They just don't care about Corsairs, not valuing keeping them alive as much as they can.
Yeah,
although
definitely.
When they are played well, they can just ruin a game. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. Alright, so coming in here from the right, Protoss not exactly in position here with his army, but I think with this many Zealots, he should be okay. And he's pulling back to the Templars. There we go. Yeah, no, Zerg not really going to get in here. I like that Protoss is just taking this one alone. They're not trying to be too ambitious going for a gas space. And this is what we're talking about with the tier 2 games yesterday. I feel like it's a mistake to go for these orthogonal bases. Yes, you want gas really badly, but I mean, minerals are still minerals. Zealots are pretty good units, so this is still worthwhile. Where are these Zealots going? Whoa, get out of there. Oh no, this huge damage on those Zealots going down. Oh, it's it. Protoss getting really overambitious here. Where are the Templars? He can't take this fight. These Hydras will decimate this army. Storms are going to come in, but they're going to be a bit too late if it's only goons left. Observer getting a bit far forward too. Okay, Zerg retreats just before the storms come in. All these Hydras though.
I mean, I like the choice that we do see from Luca because he's about to finish the Lurker aspect. So I think you want to retreat, buy some time, and ooh, they're going to pick off a Templar for their troubles. Another storm goes down. That one hits at least a little bit better here. But it's still Dragoons with no support. This is never the fight you really want to take. Can storms be enough to make this happen?
The answer is yes.
Yeah, it's doing decent enough damage, so it does survive, but still, that's another big army reset between the two. And
yeah,
you know, Luca's got plenty of production at this point, and now with Lurkers finished as well. I know that Robo and Observer are done. I don't know if there's actually Observer.
Protoss pressing forward here, but I think this is a huge mistake. Well, we'll see. Okay, nice storm goes down. I mean, it's no point picking off the Templars. It means they get a great storming at the same time. I think Luca should be able to produce and overwhelm this army, though. Because anytime the army's getting smaller, like both armies getting smaller, it generally favors Zerg here. I don't know, he's getting in here. Does he have energy for storms? He does. Not that many drones there to storm. Every Templar getting taken out instantly. Maybe he does break through. I don't know. It looks dicey.
Yeah, he had the confidence that like he wasn't storming the drones, just taking the hit and go. He thought he had enough to win through, and it does get a couple drone kills. Everyone has to evacuate, and now puts pressure on the Hydra. Yeah, wow. I don't know if that was the end of the game, but definitely Luca was on the ropes there.
Sure showed me. I thought there was no way he would bust that high ground.
Well, it's that smooth Terran brain of yours. You think with that siege tank, you can't break any base.
I'm just like fortify position, then do nothing. Attacking equals mistake. What you do is you just defend the enemy base. That's how you win this turn.
I loved what we saw with the early game blocking every hat possible. That's how you start a game one to piss off your opponent, right? It's like, nah, nah, man. This hatchery, how about not here? No, keep running. Never gonna happen.
Yeah.
That was just the most extreme block without living a pile and finish I've seen in a long time.
All right. In the 12 o'clock here, we have NGZ, aka Luka Doncic. And in the bottom left, in the green, we have Jellymang currently up 1 game in this best of 3. Here we go on Ascension.
Now, we already seen Jellymang being a little bit willing to, you know, be maybe a little cheekier, a little more aggressive or anything. And with a 3-player map, reasonably short distance, like, we'll see if it ends up being the gateway expand or always the potential of going to the gateways in base, something like that instead.
Do you think Citadel plays anything we're going to see in Tier 0?
I would like to see it, but no. I think if we do see it, it'll just be because someone really does not care about Corsairs, which last game we only saw the 2 getting made. Not that they immediately got suicided to death or anything, but...
Well, they did a lot. They were very cost effective, but my impression is that Jellymang doesn't really care about Corsairs, because he could have kept making them, done a lot more damage, you know, used them in conjunction with Zealots, or at least saved them. I don't know. Maybe I'm judging too harshly. Look at this probe path. He's going straight across here, not going up. It's interesting.
Well, I think maybe looking at you might catch the Overlord if you went for a certain pathing, but I don't think he's doing that.
Well, I'm trying to think about it. I'm trying to think about it. If you were in the right side, no, your Overlord would be going pretty much directly left if it's going towards the Protoss base. So I think it's actually better to scout the other way, because you can see he'll probably actually see this Overlord going straight up. Okay, but he sees there's no Zerg here, so he's going to know soon enough. And looks like we have an overpull once again. Not going to try and pull anything out here. We did see that 9-pull speed very effective last time on this map.
And we do got the Forge on the way as well. I'm actually curious how this wall is going to complete, because this is he didn't put the pylon down at the bottom like I was kind of expecting.
I guess 2 Zealot gap, because it'll be tight completely at the top. You just have a 2 Zealot gap at the bottom. Well, it's more than 2, isn't it? Well, we'll see if a lot of links get made. You know, something we don't see often in CPL is a sudden link flood before lair. That seems like a rare option. Look at that. The drone not even trying to hang around for the natural. That's interesting. Or is that just the drone scout? Oh, look, he was hiding behind the minerals. Never mind. He could have taken that if he was on location instead of hiding. But whatever.
Well, let's see if Jelly's going to be lost again. No, the hatchery goes down without much disruption at all this time. So Jelly can just go resume, get their scouting info. Now, the spawn pool is already done. So, you know, you're waiting to see what legs are made with 3 sets on the way. This is actually kind of a real threat. We do see 1 cannon being made right now. Curious to see if we're going to see the second before he gets the Nexus going.
Yeah, I don't think so this time, because he didn't get those blocks down. He has good vision as Zerg base. Although it is 6 Lurglings here, like... Maybe he should. He does get the Nexus. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not so sure about this right now. Okay, but he will afford the gateway before this gets here. But the problem is, he's going to need probes to block. He's bringing a probe. I don't know. What do you think?
Second cannon,
Ooh.
but I don't know.
I mean,
it's close on time. It's close. I think you can get Luca to at least
cancel that probe.
They're going.
He needs to cancel that probe and build the gateway. You have to block this. Oh my gosh. He's not cancelling. He's gonna... Oh, God. Okay, well... Zerg, not the best way to engage. Send forward, like, a couple links ahead of the rest. And looks like he's not even going to try it now. Which, to be honest, might be a bit of a mistake. Oh, look at that bait. Although, who's really getting baited here? Oh, look at that micro. Wow.
Yeah, but still no gateway. Where's
there
the gateway?
Yeah, I guess delaying the gateway is its own reward for Zerg here. So, kind of similar to last game, actually. I really thought he was just going to go for gateway before second cannon. Because, you know, once you have this solid wall, you just put the probes down here. I don't think Zerg can really do anything, but that's not what he went for.
No, you gotta get the second one going. I like that he did go for that.
Even when it's just overpull 6 links, you have to get the second one?
Well, unless you're pulling, like, a lot of probes, like, yeah, the 1 cannon really isn't quite enough, though. Now, Luca wants to put the pressure on. We are seeing just normal 3-hatch Hydra this time.
Yeah, normal 3-hatch Hydra. Can you consider that sentence for a minute, Set Zero? He's just doing normal 3-hatch Hydra. Well, sometimes it does feel like the standard build in this matchup, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, listen, this is definitely normal. Like, there's a normal 2-fact, there's a normal 5-pool. Like, there's normal things.
Normal 9-pool speed. Okay.
Nah, no one does that. It's a bad build.
I do it. Okay, so he put the Cyber at the natural here. I'm not really sure why. Because, I mean, if Zerg sees gas, he knows he has a Cyber. There's no hiding it. So I'm not really sure what the deal with that. I guess you don't really need cannons that far back, but I don't know. It's a weird spot. Up to 3 cannons already, though, so... I don't know. This doesn't look too good for... Oh, well, he knows. He knows. Did his probe see it? I must have missed it.
Yes.
Well, yeah, this is looking pretty dicey for Zerg, then, if he's already... Oh... Speaking of dicey for Zerg, oh my gosh, Extractor! Oh! Holy crap! That was amazing. Steals the gas so he can't make an extractor to kill the drone. That was actually the sickest thing I've ever seen. My god, I don't think I've even seen that in an ASL game. Holy shit. He needs to cancel that though. Like, please.
Yeah, if he lets it finish, it goes from, like, hype to not being that great, so...
Jellyman.
We'll see if he does.
The Zerg's helpfully reminding him it exists.
Right?
He's like, hey, 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 hey. There you go, he does cancel it.
Yeah, there we go.
I like how that doesn't even animate, it just disappears.
Yeah, actually, I was a little caught off by that. And I like what we're seeing from Luca, though. Like, I think he saw the extra cans getting made, and he's just like, you know what? I'm going to do the other option, where you get prepped for the 3-hatch Hydra, and you just say, not a chance. Works towards Lair, still making Hydras behind it, but we'll see, like, you will have the option to get a Spire, like, go into more of a normal game. So we do see a Stargate about to complete, and that should at least give you a couple Corsairs of the map to cause a little more havoc.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if it's like last game, like, he just gets that, like, you know, moderate amount of Overlords, 2 Corsairs, and it's presuming he's holding it in the wall, which I think he would be able to. It's looking pretty good for Protoss here. Honestly, so far this game looking very good for Protoss in general, so we'll see.
Actually, I didn't even, like, really think about this, but I kind of like it. We got the second Forge in the main pretty early, and it's working on armor upgrade, which is going to make these Zealots a lot better against the Hydras. Like, this is interesting.
Yes, we've seen this before. We've seen this before, I recall in ASL, when the Zerg was sticking on hatchery tech. Now, not that necessarily NGZ's going to be sticking on hatchery tech forever again this game, but he hasn't started Lair, he did his 4th hatch again, so I guess it's just his style. But yeah, it is actually better for Zealot versus Hydra, I think, than weapons would be.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the Lair finish, he's just not done anything with it yet. It's not Lurkers, it isn't a Spire, so...
Where's the Templar?
Every time...
There's no Templar archives.
No, not yet.
Doesn't he need one to deal with these Hydras? 2 more hatcheries going down. I mean, I don't know. Won't Zerg just have too many Hydras at a certain point, and no matter how many cannons you have, he'll still bust it?
Maybe. We'll see.
I mean, look at this already. That's already a lot of Hydras now. He's making more cannons. He has a good number of cannons here, and he's making more. Zealot speed, not... Oh, it is finished, isn't it? No? I can't tell because he's moving them like 1 inch. If he has
yeah,
to
no,
start...
it's been finished for a while.
Oh, Zerg GG's there. I guess knowing he's not going to get in and the Corsair's hitting his Overlords. I'm surprised by that, but I guess if this fails, he doesn't have much recourse because he didn't have that many drones and he doesn't have any way to deal with the Corsairs, really.
Yeah, I feel like, though, you see the defense is too much, you back off, you transition to getting drones, you already have an army, so, like, you have some defense ready.
Well, that's the thing, he didn't know.
That game is definitely not over, and especially for a finals game. Early GG is definitely not the thing we want to see.
That's the thing, he didn't know that the Templar Archives are so late, right? So you might as well not leave and see what happens, because I think he would have had a fine time just building up more and more Hydras. Well, nonetheless, that is going to be a 2-0 for their Jellymang, so that's another point for flying SCVs. Well, they're doing it. They're doing it. The underdogs, I tell you.
Yeah, I know. Like, you're real hype on the underdog story, but, like, come on. Don't you want to break the curse, too? Or no?
That's true. DestrucToads is literally undefeated for matches, though, so, I mean, I kind of think Flying is the underdog.
Well, I'm not saying that they're not the underdog. I'm just saying it's like you want the curse to live on. You don't want the tier #1 seed to get rewarded for their strong play.
Well, let's see what happens then, shall we? All right. In the bottom left, always in the green, we have Crazy, and in the top left, in the black, we have Pisage, aka Pete, aka Specialist, whichever one you want to call him. I'm probably going to stick with Pete. So we have a TVP here. Crazy, of course, famous in CPL for his macro, if nothing else. Definitely a mainstay on our casts here. Pete also definitely been around a long time for CPL. And I would say he doesn't have as distinct of a style in this matchup. Generally tends to play, I wouldn't say green heavy styles per se, but definitely more standard type builds. But we'll see what he's bringing today.
I don't know. I think Pete's style is running the King of the Tiers tournament. That's the most.
That is stylish. That is stylish as hell. For sure. Pete helps out a lot with CPL, so definitely a big shout out to Pete there.
Yeah. Now, every time we watch Crazy, I know, like, we talk about, the macro. Clearly the macro. But I always just, like, every time I, like, watch him play more, and I'm just happy he's not dying to random dumb cheeses. Like, he's holding off that defense when things go a little bit weird, really sticking in the game, so you can get into that late game drive where he looks so strong. So we'll see if it ends up happening again on this map. You know, is a good macro map. If you can get yourself in a good spot here, should favor you pretty well. So Pete, hopefully going, like you're saying, standard. We go that 3 base arbiter.
Well,
get yourself in positions.
Crazy not going for standard. He's going for a gasless here. Which I would say isn't exactly a modern style. It's definitely open exploitation. We'll see if Pete goes for a blind zealot here. It'd be very strong if he does. By the way, I should have mentioned earlier, Crazy on DestrucToads and Pete here on flying SCVs. But yeah, if Protoss gets a zealot right away, I feel like this generally favors Protoss. But if they don't, just blind start a zealot immediately. I feel like it's pretty strong for Terran, and it's very difficult for Protoss to actually punish it effectively. Like, if Terran plays well, then they can kind of shut everything down. Then they just have a really nice position with a fast CC here. Alright, he's sending that scout out.
Yeah, it is a core. No zealot just yet. Could still make one after, but I'm not expecting it here. So, like, if you're looking for what you ideally want to do, either you got to get your Nexus up like real quick, try to catch up. Maybe take the Nexus.
I am a big fan of double expand and DT, because even if Terran is at home with their eBay, they can't push out for a little bit. And like, theoretically, if Terran plays perfectly, like, you're gonna have a hard time getting your forces up in time. But I feel like the amount of time you can buy, it should be possible for us to pull something off. Alright, now SCV comes in. Unfortunately, Pete scouting the wrong direction, so off to a pretty tricky start here. And like, I think you said in another cast, like, the last thing you want to do is let Crazy get up on like 3 bases or whatever. And if he's already on 2, it's going to be a lot harder to stop that.
Yeah, so this is the other thing I was going to lead into, that Pete's actually kind of in a good position. You can put some pressure, like, a little bit easier on this wall, at least force some repair, kind of mitigate some of the advantage, if you get range as soon as possible. So
and he is doing that.
There is a bunker. Yeah, he got it before the goon, so I like seeing this. He's going to be able to put himself in a good spot forward. But we got to see, like, if Crazy gets a bunker, where he ends up putting it. That's all going to be a big key to this as well.
I'm sure he positioned it well. That looks like he's going to put it very far out. Is that a... Oh, I don't know about that. That is way too far to the south. Goons will have an easy time running past this. And
it's also, like, look at the repair room you're going to have.
Yeah!
Like, SCVs, that's a far pole. It's going to be in a weird spot. Like, that is not the bunker place. I want, like, a right above the barracks. Like, that would have made sense.
Well, I was thinking in line with the depot. In line with the depot, just halfway through the choke, basically, is the best spot, I think. Because you have lots of repair space. It's hard for many goons to hit the supply depot. You don't mind 1 or 2 hitting it. We'll lose that scouting probe, but sees all it needs to see. But Pete here did not go for a second gate. I was going to say, with this fast range, 1021 is actually a decent move against this, because you can put a lot of damage on this bunker, really stress Terran out. If they misplay, break it, like, for example, with a bad bunker position. Okay, he's moving the barracks up, but I still think this bunker's too far south, even with this. But what I was saying is, if you go 1021, you put a lot of pressure on this bunker, then you double expand behind. I think it's actually a decent position for Protoss. He's going for 1 gate range. Now, he's still going to be able to put a lot of pressure on this bunker for sure. Factory's just coming up now. But even this I don't really like, because it's not too hard for goons to, like, run in the top here, unless you constantly have SCVs there. Okay, Pete, I'm not sure what he's looking for right now. He doesn't need to confirm the CC. He knows already from his probe scout. Marine's going to come after this goon. Now, Pete... Oh, he does pull back far enough. Needs to send the others to attack. He's just focused on nice scouting right now. Do you think he's going to go for a Reaver here?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because he cut goons to get that robo real quick here. And so I don't know if it's just for the really fast observers. I know we're seeing that a little bit right now in ASL. Like,
well, surely against...
Really not going to vulture, but against a gasless, that's not applicable.
Absolutely. I would say, like, there's no way you need that against gasless. Because especially if you make more goons, there's no way Terran's getting vultures out. Oh, he's going to put pressure on with his 1 goon, but the Marines could actually pop out and fight that still. Alright, we see a second gate. We don't see a support bay or anything. So yeah, I'm not really sure what Protoss' plan is here. A 4th Marine gets made, though. I would say Crazy got away with this unopposed, but the fact he made 4 Marines is a bit unnecessary, actually. Against 1 gate expand, you definitely only need 2 here. But hey, it's only 100 minerals, and Crazy still had a really, really big advantage, I think, getting away with the expansion. We do see observers coming up.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want to get the knowledge, it's not so bad, but yeah, the Nexus being behind where the CC was, getting away with this gas expand with the minimal pressure being put on, like, you have the range, and he's still not even trying to push the wall, so he's being very careful here. I think we just want to set up that 3rd Nexus up with the 12, and make sure he doesn't lose these goons, because I think if you lose any of these goons this way you've been cutting units here, vultures are going to get on map, just cause headaches.
You know, I think Pete might not actually realize it was a gasless, because his probe just died to the bunker because it got here so late. And since he's not putting this pressure on, I think he was expecting the tank to already be out, and his goons were a little bit injured, so we don't want to risk them. So I think Pete might just be playing a normal game here, which is going to be very difficult against gasless. Now, Crazy went for a pretty conservative option here, going straight into Academy. He's getting an eBay now, though, and you know, anytime we see this eBay at this kind of timing, I think Terran's looking at a 2-base push. Although, if I think about it, that's not really crazy style. Now, this I'm not so sure about. 3-tank push on Rax FE, I don't know about that. Now, the goons are spread out right now, but if Pete gets in position... Oh, don't want to lose these. Oh, okay, he does pull that back. Nicely done. If Pete gets in position with all his goons, he could pounce on this 100%. There's no vultures with this yet. Although, where are the goons? They're all kind of running around all over the map at the moment. Not... Oh, this one is going to die. Oh, no, he does pull it back. Very nice. I thought for sure it was going to path the wrong way, but well done there by Pete.
Yeah, you're saying with all of the goons they could take this fight, but there's just not that many, honestly.
There are. They're just all in random locations. Like, there's 4 here, 1 down here, which is actually kind of doing good harass on the rear of the Terran army. 1 up at this 3rd. I feel like if they're all in one place, they could definitely take fight here, but look at this. It looks like Terran just playing some mines and coming back. I think that's definitely the right call here, but like I was saying, gearing up to more factories with this eBay. Now, he may just expand on 4 factories. I think that's more crazy style. I don't expect we're going to see a powering 2-base style, because typically I don't think that's what crazy goes for. But these mines out are quite nice. But where's the observer? He already built one, right? Oh, there we go. It's at the Terran Natural.
I'm actually leaning more towards that he might want to do this push. One, because everyone knows he's a big macro hype beast, so you know, maybe playing against the meta that people know him for. But also the fact that we haven't seen an armory yet. If he was playing for the late game, we figured he would have started the upgrades.
Yeah, that's a good point. Although I have to say, I'm not sure why Pete isn't clearing out his mines. And also, like, did he send an observer in? He did send an observer in, so he sees this at least 4 factory. But that's not too many yet. Well, we'll see. Of course, Terran can definitely try and push 4 factory. Where are these tanks going? This is a bit dicey for Terran, I think. I'm not sure where exactly he's trying to go, but he's really extending very far out on the map. If he goes into this valley, I don't think it's going to work out. Okay, Protoss moving out here. The tank's just sitting here on their own, not sieged. Uh-oh. Terran not even reacting when the mines get hit. Starts to pull back, but these goons are in hot pursuit. He might get all these tanks. Oh, okay, the goons get stuck a little, unfortunately. But he gets one of them. That's still a huge pick-off when it doesn't cost him anything. Vultures and Marines going to bust down this pylon very quickly, though. The probes need to react. Okay, no, goons here as well. So actually, probably not much damage going down. The probe getting stuck. What's he going to build? Nothing, I guess. He's like, no, actually, I don't need to build anything. So yeah, Terran's splitting up their army. You can see why that doesn't work out normally.
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised.
Ooh.
Like, you see that Stargate's on the way, so we're assuming it is going to be that transition into getting the Arbiters, but...
I'm not.
Like, already, Pete, I feel like, spent a lot of gas. He hasn't taken the 3rd gas up to 12, and he has 4 observers on the map. That's like a pretty big investment this early on.
Yeah, I like the observers, but I'm not assuming anything Templar-wise, because he does not have a... sorry, Templar-wise, Arbiter-wise, because he doesn't have a Templar Archives. Now, it might just be a mistake, because like you say, there's no gas, because he's not mining from the natural, and he hasn't taken the 3rd yet. Like, there we go, he's mining from the natural now. I don't know, we might see a fleet beacon. In these spawn positions, I don't hate it. In fact, on polypod in general, I don't hate carriers. They're kind of mixed, I think.
I hate carriers and upgrades, though. It's like,
True.
if there's any indication, I think you start working on that +1.
Okay, I luckily took out those mines. Vulture's still running around. Who needs cannons when you have a Dragoon? It's a mobile cannon. Okay, we still don't see any Temple Archives or fleet beacon. Fed CC is going down for crazy. Like I was saying, I think he's really just prone to expand. The armory comes up very late. It's just a different style he plays compared to some other games we're seeing, I think, in the quarterfinals, where Terran was always getting this super fast armory. I think Crazy just goes for the units first, which I think is a fine style. A bit more old school style, I suppose. Okay, Templar Archives coming up, so this was just a mistake by Pete. And this is going to really impact this game a lot, because Arbiters are not going to be out in time for Terran's max, I don't think. Or at least Stasis won't be ready.
I don't think it's going to be a little bit interesting. How do you feel about Crazy taking this mineral base instead of taking, say, the 6 o'clock?
Definitely you take the mineral base. The 6 o'clock is so far from your natural, it's incredibly easy for Protoss to cut off any reinforcements and like catch your army out of position. Now, this is greedy. This right here is very greedy, taking this right now, when he really doesn't have the army to defend both locations. Now, Pete's army not necessarily huge either, but he's only a matter of time till he has Zealot speed. Well, I say that, it hasn't actually started. But once he has it, I mean, this becomes very dangerous. Getting that wall up, but if you have a couple of shuttles, you can still potentially bust this. Now, mines getting laid constantly. Pete doing his best to sweep the map, and so far hasn't really suffered from these mines, actually, but it does give Crazy security knowing, you know, where his opponent's army is and where it can go. Like, Goon getting taken out all its lonesome.
Yeah, looks like a couple of these Vultures are going to get caught up here, which... You know, not what you want to be doing. Mine's still being very diligent to make sure we clear this out, and Pete takes another base up at the top right. I like trying to secure that second main now, so you can start adding on gateways, really get set up for later on, and I'll secure extra bases later as well. But if Crazy gets these 4 bases up, gets situated, that is not the scenario you want to be in.
And the Arbiter Tribunal only just started, so recall is going to be a really long time away. Like I said, there's no way Terran's get max before Stasis even is ready, let alone recall. So yeah, this is looking very dire for Protoss. Honestly, I think the best option would be you make like 3 shuttles and just try and like drop 12 zealots on the space, hit it at the ramp at the same time, because Terran is overextended, I feel. Yep, Protoss doesn't really have the tools to get in there, but like, at this point in the game, I don't think you can really be in here. Look at that, he sees it. And Protoss is probably going, God damn it, how did I let this get set up, right? Because now the depot wall's up, it's like way harder to break. Let's see if he does anything though. He's getting his 4 ready though. I will say Protoss keeping up a good rate of expansion so far, but he needs to throw down like a 5th base immediately, I think, once seeing that. Because he doesn't really have any avenue to punish here.
Yeah, well, also I have to wonder if, what Pete's going to do to react, because we just see Crazy adding on 5 factories all at once, so he's like, I think he's got the 4 bases, feeling comfortable here, going to really start grinding out a lot of units. So it's going to be up to Pete to get himself a good spot. We do see Arbiter on the way, Stasis and Zealot legs are working on being completed as well, but like Pete doesn't have any map presence. Like still these vultures are kind of moving out freely. There's a couple of observers like seeing stuff, but nothing real big here. And these vultures, they're not going to be able to do too much, but they do at least see the top right base and can stop mining from that 1 probe.
Yeah, he has to send a few goons to deal with this. I don't think it's a big deal. Maybe he'll get a few more probes, but whatever. I think it's an even trade. Look at this little Terran force sitting on its own, with observers right on top of it, mind you. Now, scan's going down. Where is he scanning? He's scanning the tech, sees it is Arbiter, and he sees a shuttle coming out. That's pretty good intel as well. Okay, look at that. That vulture just getting taken out. Yeah, you know, honestly, despite the fact he's been quite diligent placing good mines, the vultures have not been efficient for Crazy at all so far. Pete being really good at clearing those mines up without taking any damage. We haven't seen any big probe kills or anything like that. Like, he's sending more out. But honestly, Crazy's army a lot weaker than it could have been. Because we see, look at home, he has like these, you know, 20 tanks or so, which is a lot. But he has almost no vultures to back them up because he's constantly trading them out here. Now, these mines might do some damage, but honestly, it's... Oh, yeah, okay, it's a little bit, but it's not enough to make the family vultures he's been losing in the course of this game.
I mean, there is something to say, though, of just keeping Pete busy. If he's dealing with these vultures that is not attacked, that's not putting pressure on 6 o'clock or getting into the middle of the map, like, he's been constantly dealing with these mines, dealing with these vultures, and that's, I would say that is a low cost for buying yourself a whole lot of time.
I disagree with that because I think Pete is the one who has to buy time here because his Arbiter tech is so late, and Terran already has an extremely scary tank count. I think the best path for Terran here would have been to make a push before Arbiter tech is ready, and like, you're fighting 2 maxed armies, but Protoss doesn't have Arbiters or something else to help them out. Terran should win that. Now, look at that. He lost like, what, 7 more vultures there? Just to kill like a probe and a zealot? Bunch more coming in. If he maxes on pure tank, I guess he can try that, but I don't know. I really feel like he's just throwing a lot of these away. And he's ultimately not going to have a big bank, and if he loses 1 big max army fight, it's going to be hard to come back from this. Still trying to lay all his mines, but like I said, Pete just on top of constantly clearing this out. Observers going both directions, like there's nowhere for these vultures to go. And look at that, even leaves a group of goons here to deny anything running into this top right. Now, I am worried Pete only on 5 bases now against Terran's 4. I feel like you really need to go up to 6 pretty soon here. But that said, like he is building up that bank, he's maxed already, so his economic situation is okay.
Yeah, I'm just looking for 1 minute into the future, right? Because we see +2 weapons about to finish up. So is EMP Shockwave. He's already got a vessel building up energy. He's about to hit max. So if there's ever going to be a flag for Crazy to get on the map and start laying some kind of attack in some direction, I think that's what we're looking for here. Especially since he really seems to be putting a lot of vultures and mines towards that mineral base right by the Protoss main. I wonder if that would be the move to go for. We do see the natural over on the right side getting taken for Pete. So definitely a lot of opportunities, and as I was saying, Pete, Crazy nearing that max, getting these upgrades about to finish up, and looking like he does want to move out. Well,
you know, Pete does have great observer vision, so he can see where the Terran army is going to go. I would have said maybe it's a mistake to sit your army this far back, but he can see exactly where Crazy goes, so actually he can react very well. And honestly, I think Pete's really masterfully just sitting back, waiting for the Terran to make a mistake here. And like I said, I feel like Protoss was the one who wanted to buy time, and Terran obliged by sacrificing those vultures, and now Stasis is ready. I don't see any Goliaths here. Yes, he has EMP, and that's not bad, but like, you can't stop the Arbiters just from buzzing around here. And look at this spread. Like, if Terran comes straight up here, he's going to be in for a world of hurt, I think. Protoss looking very well set up, but look at EMP about to go down. Ooh, Arbiter caught AFK. Well, that's his only Stasis. The other one's a little way away. Taking out the observers now, too. Still a good concave available, though. Alright, Protoss going to pull the trigger here. All the tanks are on siege. Some mines in the front, but they're going to hit vultures at least somewhat. This is a huge attack from Protoss, but that's a lot of tanks as well. I don't think Protoss can actually take this fight. He needs to pull back from this. Oh my gosh, so many goons dying almost instantly. Oh. Yeah, and these goons not pulling back either. That was an absolute slaughter for the Protoss.
Yeah, it turns out +2 tanks, they're scary. They're pretty strong, right? So even with that great concave, it's still a lot of Dragoons. You know, we didn't get that stasis because of the EMP, and like realistically, it was just so much extra damage. Yeah, there's not a vulture wall to protect your stuff, but the best protection is just killing everything too quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, okay. Pete spent his bank now, and Crazy's continuing to bank up here. I just don't think Terran has the... I mean, sorry, Protoss has the economy really to keep up with this. Because since he didn't realize it was Rax FE, he didn't go crazy on the expansion. So he's never really been ahead. He's only been like half a base ahead, if that makes sense. Oh, look at this. Losing the Arbiter of Energy as well. There's a decent amount of goons around here, but that's not really what you need. You can't break into these tanks with goons. You need a whole bunch of zealots, but he just does not have the income. Now, did saturate this base, but the vultures are on the way to put an end to that. Crazy looking very strong in this game right now.
Yeah, and I already feel like we're seeing a little bit of the desperation from Pete, just randomly taking other expansions on the base, just making it hard for Terran to keep moving forward. But the pressure is outside of natural. He wants to cut off the reinforcements, put a choke on the production, and he still got a decent amount of vultures that can go to the top side. Some of them are taken out by mines and one zealot, but a lot more vultures rolling up here. Crazy's going to start putting the hurt on as he's moving tanks into the 12 as well.
Yeah, I don't mind putting these nexuses anywhere. Let's just say, like, whether the fight went good or ill, he should have just started making nexus everywhere, so that's fine, I think. But yeah, how's he going to hold on to his main here? He has some gateways over at the top right, but I mean, it looks like Crazy even is going to be able to push in here. There's no Templar and Storm. The top right is quite vulnerable too. With no cannons, these vultures theoretically actually get in here, but look at all these probes that are going to die as well. That's a bit of a blow. Well, I guess their base is dying, so it's not like they're really anywhere to go. Giving away the existence of this 3 o'clock a little bit. I don't think Terran actually noticed. Look at that. Pure zealots there waiting to get cold by those vultures.
And behind this all, Crazy does take another base over at the 9 o'clock as well, so not losing sight of the bigger picture. Still, like, building up a bank, still at max here. And +3 weapons about halfway done. Crazy executing this mid and late game very well here. And it's just going to be like, what can you do as P? I mean, he's getting Arbiter building energy, maybe a stasis, but it's like he doesn't even really have an army to take a ground fight anymore.
Oh, that Arbiter's about to die too, so... Oh, or is it? Goliaths, go. Yeah, it's dead. Yeah, so... Yeah, PD's really locked into both these locations. Now, he has a couple of Arbiters in the main, but they're a long way away from Recall. Recall is definitely a good option in this kind of scenario where they're completely contained. He cannot lose his top right, because then there's just no way to circulate units. Now, like you said, tick bases everywhere. He's still mining from a decent number of places, some idle probes around. But look at Crazy's bank, because he hasn't really even lost a fight, right? This whole game from start to finish, I feel like he's been kind of untouched.
Yeah, I would like to see him add on, you know, a couple more factories, a couple more machine shops.
Decent mine drags. But ultimately, the Zealots getting hurt from that too. Yeah, look, this Terran Army is inching its way in here. There's a lot of Zealot Dragoon here, and even a couple of Templars. The Arbiter should really be over here backing this up, I feel. But I don't know. He needs to attack now before everything sieges up. Here we go. He pulls the trigger, but I think it might be too late. Everything's sieging up. Protoss is just going to get decimated in this narrow area here. Even has an EMP for the Templar. Nothing going to happen there. And yeah, this is just going to be absolute slaughter. He needs to pull back to the ramp or something. Ugh. No, there's just no way.
Yeah, it seems very difficult to actually take these fights at this point. And I like that Crazy is not, like, rushing up the ramp, not being, like, they're still careful, still got the EMPs, playing very, like, patiently, despite how clearly it's like, oh, they're in a great spot here, but they're not, like, over by the natural. He's not running these tanks to the main. He knows that's certain death, so he's just going to chip away what he can, no big deal. Yeah.
And I don't think there's much play for Pete from here. He has the Arbiter still. It looks like a recall is still on the cards. But even if he takes out the 9 o'clock, say, I don't think it's too difficult. Oh, look at the turrets all there already. I don't think it's too difficult for Crazy to take more bases now. Look at this. He finds the bottom right. Only a single cannon to defend it. 12 vultures would make short work of that. And Crazy happy to just contain these and send units random directions around the map.
Well, it does get the recall at the 9, right as the Arbiter dies to some turrets, but it does at least get some of the goons out of the base. Now they can be on the map. Maybe that's kind of more important than actually doing damage to the 9. So free damage here, and we do see a DT trying to sneak their way out, but Mines and Vision still available here. Crazy. Looking like they're going to retreat some of the army that's putting the pressure on the top right, and it looks like the tanks found the 3 o'clock. There's a force heading down to the bottom right as well, so Crazy going to find everything he can at the cost of losing the 9, which who cares?
Look at these goons go, though. They're actually getting a lot of value here. The recall is a great move in this situation. It's just I feel like it might be too little too late. But he's continuing to do damage with them. And I mean, I don't see any tanks in production. Crazy's macro actually slipping, God forbid, trying to send these units all around the place. But he is taking out like every base Protoss has. And he's soon only going to be mining at this top right. Technically, there's still minerals at the top left, but that doesn't really count. And look at this. A force coming back here to deal this. Another recall, though. Now there's a serious army here. Can he get on top of Crazy's main? This is going to actually be a move that brings it back from the brink. No way. He's... Okay, this main does not have any mines for recall. Tank's only really halfway through production. If he can get up on there before Terran sets up a defense, but he's stalling to hit this bunker, this might be a critical mistake, but nonetheless, the Vulture's rallying out. Crazy not controlling them. Crazy forced to pull back his entire army. At the same time, Protoss busting out of the top right here. There's so many mines, though, between the Protoss production and the Terran main. I don't think he's going to be able to get these reinforcements over there, but he's sure going to try. That's still a scary force Protoss has. Can he get in the main? He needs to get up that ramp. Oh, there's tanks there, though. I don't know. I don't think he has enough zealots for this. Looks like Terran may be able to defend ultimately, but Protoss has bought themselves a little bit of time. But what can they do with it? Oh, look at that. Taking out some tanks, too.
Yeah, they're going to try to take a Nexus at the middle only in the top right area, which... I don't know, man. It's in division. Crazy knows about it, and this force that was doing so much work in the bottom left, it didn't manage to get into the main armor.
That pun is banned. You're not allowed to use that. But go on, Set Zero.
Wait, do you have standards for wordplay? I don't believe
Yes,
you.
I do. And that one's been used too much. Okay, the attacking army got taken out, and I think now Pete has to face reality. It was a very strong move. If the game was other than it was, it would have been a winning move, I think, but given how far ahead Crazy is, it's not actually going to make a difference, I think, here, because Crazy's going to be able to reassert himself here pretty quickly. And he's taking out all the mining bases except this potential new mineral only in the top right. He's trying to bust out from the main, but there's just no way. That Templar doing its best. Oh, I guess that's its best. And yeah, I don't think Pete can really do much from here. He's out of money. Oh my god, okay. Show me. Oh, mines. Oh.
No, that's like you're saying, no. Basically out of money at this point. There's just nothing to really go for from here, and Crazy still has a lot of map control in a lot of spots. Even though like some of the areas have been relaxed, it's still an opportunity. He took another base in the bottom right. Still has plenty of money banked up and the ability to keep reducing. Although, like you're saying, the macro is falling off a little bit, all things considered, but he's still in a great spot. Crazy should be able to close out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even just the units he has. GG, Pete can't fight back. Yeah, that was a nice game, but I feel like Crazy that whole game was just like Protoss was not in his face, like stopping to expand. Like the Rax FE and the 4th, Terran kind of got away with for free, and it shows you don't want to let Terran do that because he was just so strong. Protoss didn't respond with like mass expands either, just expanded at like a normal rate for a normal game. That was not a normal game.
Yeah, I think Pete's just too much of a gentleman, not getting down
That's
dirty.
it.
Like,
That's it.
10-21, not like really going crazy.
9-9, also probably very effective against Crazy, I want to say, especially if he's doing that kind of opening.
No, they played the gentleman's game, but you know we're on Ascension. You saw what happens if you take the gentleman's game. You know, maybe there's a switch in strategy heading our way from Pete.
All right then, in the 12 o'clock, in the orange we have Crazy currently up on game as best of 3, and the bottom right in the yellow we have Pisagi, aka Pete, aka Specialist, going into Ascension here. Now we talked about this map yesterday, I believe, and you were saying you think it's pretty good for Terran in the long term or Protoss in the long term? I can't remember. You said one.
I think the longer the game goes on, the worse it is for Protoss.
I agree with that for sure. Now, if Protoss gets carriers up, another story maybe, but I guess that's true on any map. Anytime Protoss is going carriers, they don't necessarily mind going to super late game.
Yeah, but even then, there's not like amazing terrain to play with for the carriers. Sure, like between the middle of the map and the main, you got this giant wall and all this stuff, but if you're actually taking fights against their army in the middle of the map, like trying to actually use them for more than just killing bases, it's hard to keep them in a good spot where Goliaths aren't really causing problems.
Well, in this rotation though, you can hit the Terran main over from a 4th base over in this cliff, and Terran has to go a really long way in a big open space to get to your base. Now look, it's Crazy going to wall on one base this time. Crazy definitely a fan of the walls I've seen before, and going siege mode super fast. But this game might suit Pete better. Based on what we saw last game, if Crazy wasn't super ahead from the Rax FE into the super fast 4th, I don't think Pete would have had too hard a time.
Well, I mean, Pete also didn't put on a lot of pressure. I feel like there was opportunities to do something, because Crazy got that 6. It didn't get seen or disrupted with it all.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a big mistake, definitely, from Protoss.
Yeah, now I wonder if just Crazy is like respecting. It's like it's a 3-player map. A lot of people don't want to really play an Ascent.
Saint Zero, what's he doing? I thought this was tier 0.
Now you tell me, man. Go on. Go off about your Terran building.
Depot to the left. You will be bereft. This doesn't block anything. Is he going to build another depot up here?
I don't know. Maybe
I don't understand this. I don't understand this. I thought he was going to... Sorry?
You got to make new rides. That barracks to the right. It sounds right. There we go.
Barracks to the right. Nebulum wants to fight.
Nebulum's delight.
No, no. I thought he was going to put the barracks down here and make a wall, but no. What is this? I mean, luckily for him, Pete's not making a zealot, but I feel like it's an injustice that the zealot isn't going to show up to punish this. Okay, it looks like he's going to make another depot up here. Crazy. What are you doing? Oh my god. I swear to god, if Pete had gone 9-9, there would be nothing Crazy could do here. I'm very surprised we see someone like Crazy making this mistake. That's why I'm so shaken by this. Right, whatever. I'll try and move on, because there are no zealots coming, so it's not going to matter.
See, yeah, it's not going to matter, man. This is like building place doesn't matter. You get punished for it, no big deal.
Don't even talk to me. I'm solo casting now. Okay, but he won't have a wall to block those DTs coming in, because look at this, we have Citadel going down. Now, the SCV is going to get in here in time, but if it's just a bit timid, it doesn't go all the way in, runs away from that goon, it will not see. Let's see what it sees. Goon about to pop out, not quite. I think he's just going to find this, right? Oh, I mean, you should. He didn't. Ooh, he turned around and now he's leaving.
Yeah, but got cancelled.
Cancelled. Oh, that's disappointing. He could have got away with it.
Well, I mean, realistically, Crazy should have scouted for that. He got in there and
make it again. Make it again. Go on. Hey, he made it again. Look at this. He's proxying the gate too, but that is an extremely brazen proxy location. I would at least kind of hide it down here, but the closer it is, the faster the DT is going to be, right?
I mean, I guess that's true, but if canceling your Citadel, the slower your DT is going to be. Which, I mean...
Look, like, you might as well you might as well wait till Terran scouts it and the SCV's gone and then cancel it, because then they have to think, is he still doing it, is he not doing it, right? Because I don't think there's any benefit to, like, if you were going DT, but then you cancelled it before he saw it and he's going, what are you doing? Like, you're doing nothing, so it doesn't really matter if he gets an eBay and turrets, right? So I think he might as well have let the SCV see it, then cancel it, see if the SCV was going to see it. Nonetheless, Crazy is not aware at this time. 2 gates going up proxied here. Where's the archives? Needs to start that. Oh, that is it. Okay, never mind. I thought that probe was going to build it. I'm like, why isn't there?
Well, I think Crazy is going to have an idea very soon. Still no Nexus. Red flags should be raised.
Okay, well, he does see that. The probe there is a nice fake out. Now, eBay is on the way. I wonder if getting that Citadel on time would have meant the turrets wouldn't have been up on time. I think it probably would have here, because the eBay's about to finish, and presumably Crazy not seeing a Nexus is going to go straight in and get those turrets. Now look at this. He's going to see a Nexus. It's not too late. It's almost on time. But Crazy, surely having built an eBay, will build the turrets, right? Right?
Quite possibly. The SV doesn't get in far enough to confirm the tech or anything.
No turrets.
I mean, the other thing could be just you still at this point you only see 3 Dragoons. Like that late of a Nexus, only 3 Dragoons. Something's amiss here, and we'll see what it is. Is a turret being made by the CC? Will those proxied gateways be the trick? That is going to be close enough. But DT's being made. Is it being made back in the main?
Yes,
why is it being made in the main? You proxied gateways, brother. What are you doing?
Yeah, these gateways not doing anything right now. Maybe the follow-up is zealot speed here. I don't know, man. I got nothing to say now. He was supply blocked, I think he wanted to make in the main and the proxies, but it's too late. The turret's up. Now, that turret is terribly out of position. If the barracks doesn't land, say you have 3 DTs, you could easily just run them in the main, and that one turret is not going to last very long if you do that. Now, look at these goons, I think ready to sacrifice themselves for mines as well. Pete's going to go all out here. Oh, you know what? It kind of makes sense if you want an attack with all 3 DTs, make 1 in the main, then 2 in there. Make the one in the main first, because that's trouble further, I guess. He's making even more. I wanted to put up like 10 DTs and just wait for it. Where are these Marines going? Oh, look at that. He's preparing for Reaver, actually, because it's been too long. There's been no DTs. Now, that might be beneficial, actually, because that means at least he can defend that turret in the main. But look at that. Attacking at the worst possible time, just after the bunker lands. The turret is there, but hang on. There's no Marines in this bunker. DTs actually do a lot of damage, you know. Especially the turrets. Oh my gosh. Crazy must be screwing right now that he pulled back just before the DTs attack. That's a nice rhyme. And there's no turret defending this choke either. SCV's trying to fight, but they are not... They're outclassed in melee by DTs, that's for sure. Now, turret going up to behind this.
I kind of don't know what I'm looking at here.
Dude, DTs are pretty good. They just kill stuff. There's only 2 tanks left, and I mean, even with detection, I don't know if it's enough, although, unfortunately, Pete targeting the turret there, which might be a bit of a mistake. 1 DT going to look in that tank, though. Only 1 tank left, and 2 DTs and a goon to fight it. How much health is that goon on? A goon's on full health. He can almost fight this, and look like he's going to go for the tank. Huge damage going down for Protoss right now. More DTs continue to rally in. Oh, okay, he does get it. That's the last tank. This goon avoiding death pretty skillfully there, dancing away from those SCVs. DT's AFK now. Okay, going after that final turret. Terran not building anymore. Looks like Terran's is dead.
Yeah, more reinforcement KP boy is going to show up as well, and like I thought with it being so delayed, there was an opportunity to hold that off, but yeah, Pete hitting at just the right time, right before all this division gets set up here. That move out from the bunker as well. It's like, I don't know what you could have done better in that spot, but hey, Pete pulling something from the bag of tricks, even though in the chat he's saying, it's like, I'm not a scumbag, maybe I'm a scumbag, as he secures the winning game too.
Yeah. Alright, people take note, if you want to be crazy, that's what you do. Don't try and play like a standard game. Even if you do some cheese that's not necessarily well executed and like kind of clumsy, like I feel like that's Crazy's weakness here. Look man, his depot is to the left for God's sake, just make some zealots. Crazy, you're in chat, can you explain to me that depot?
Well, when you went off, he did all caps. He's like, I know.
Well, then why'd you do it? If you know, then why'd you do it? You should know better, man. Didn't I even teach you that? I don't even know. Oh, I'm so mad.
Tried something new.
My blood pressure right now. You don't even know. Alright, in the top right, in the green still, we have Crazy. And the bottom left, in the black, we have Pisagi, aka Pete. Of course, Crazy here for DestrucToads. Pete for flying SCVs. Series tied up 1-1. We made it to Eclipse. Who will take it home for their team?
I just want to know who's hosting these games, because they played 3 games. The first one had top versus bottom. The second one, I think, was 1v1. This one's something else. Like, they just keep switching game modes because they want to piss us off.
Pete, I told you that pun is not allowed. Or are you saying this is Crazy as in, you know, this is the person? Is that what you're saying? You're on thin ice, buddy.
Yeah, so, since we've seen shenanigans broke through Crazy's defense that got the win early for Pete, and we saw the late game go quite well for Crazy.
Well, I like this. But go on.
Less base, yeah, with less bases to take, and you know, especially not extra made for extra gateways or any of these kind of things. How do you think Eclipse favors the style that we're expecting to see from Crazy?
I mean, honestly, it's not dissimilar to any other map. If Crazy gets up to like 3 or 4 bases, I think he's definitely going to win. But I like this. Forward gateway, I think, is an excellent option here. Possibly a gas steal as well. I'm not sure he's going to quite get there in time, but we'll see. Actually, I think he will. Yeah. But yeah, I think this is a good option against this. Okay, well, there's that gateway. I think I'm a big fan of forward gateway in general. I think it's a good way to keep Terran honest without overcommitting. Now, this probe coming up here, look at that. He's weaving around, although Crazy actually sees it, and he cancels an SCV, goes for the gas. But honestly, that's still fine. You're still happy just to make Terran do that, and you do a bit of probe harass here, so it's worth sending it early still. And look at that. Nice micro by both players so far there, keeping that SCV alive. But, I mean, Pete's not done. He's going to send Zealots here. Now, the depot was to the right this time. Such a shame he didn't do this last game. But he's harassing that barracks pretty intensely. The more he delays that, the worse it's going to be for Terran, because, of course, Zealots are coming. And every second counts.
Yeah, well, I'm curious to see what we're seeing from Pete, because he hasn't taken his gas yet. That is a little bit delayed, all things considered. He's actually making second pylon, so I think we are going to see probably at least 2 Zealots instead, like real, trying to put the pressure on with all this late gas especially. Well,
I'm a fan. I think Zealot pressure is a good way to do it. You know, on this 2-player map, even the rush distance is a bit longer, you know he's not going to be too far. And this probe harass is really doing a lot. Now, the barracks does go down, but a lot of these SCVs are injured, and, you know, pulling them for microfights later may be impactful. In fact, he's still going for the kill. He doesn't want to lose this probe, though. He definitely want to keep this probe alive in this scenario. Careful of that Marine as well. It looks like he's going to pull back. But the Zealot is on the way. He's out for blood. Ooh, I see he's going to see it, actually. That could be a big deal for Crazy here. There you go. He does see it, almost at his base. Marine's out. Marine getting baited down to the ramp, though. Gotta be careful with that. Did Crazy notice?
The factory's on the way. Like, as long as we see that the Vulture before Machine Shop, like, you should be able to deflect this pressure out.
Depends how the Marine micro goes, though. And honestly, his factory a little bit far from the Sin City. Could be a tiny bit closer, I think. Nice probe micro getting behind that Marine, trapping it. Very nicely done there. It's worth the probe. Good Zealot micro so far, too. Going straight after that factory, too. So far, this is working out pretty well for Pete. Now he can't go through there, and this Marine has many directions to run, so this is not the play. And look at that, now it's trapped. That's exactly where Terran wants you to go. How are those SCVs mineral walking like that? What did I just see? Oh, that Zealot is taken out.
Pete making a Citadel when there's a Terran Scout in his base. It leaves and sees the Citadel as fast as humanly possible. You animal.
He's just making it, like, right in front of him. Some people wear their heart on their sleeve. Pete wears his Citadel at his natural. He's not cancelling it either this time. He's just going to go straight for Zealot speed.
How do you CPL curse that? He said he's not canceling this time. The moment you said it, he canceled.
What? Oh, god damn it. Oh, god damn it.
You are just fantastic at predicting this kind of stuff. It's like, we just got to ask you for lottery numbers and just not pick the ones you say.
That's right. Or if I say there's no way State Zero will win the lottery, then you're good. Now, this Zealot's still getting good value here, to be honest. I feel like Crazy could have pulled one more SCV here. Look at that, another kill. Although, again, he's overcommitting. I mean, I don't know. Run! Oh my god, okay, he's going to make it, I think. Or is he? Okay. Now, yeah, he does take that all out. Crazy not opting for a Vulture here. Honestly, I don't think it's bad value for Pete, but like you say, he delayed gas so much, and like, what is the deal with that Citadel? His Nexus just starting now. This Zealot dead as well.
Yeah, the only thing I could think... Sorry. The only thing I could think of with the Citadel is that he wanted to get found so he can cancel it and just have Crazy prepare for DTs that are never going to come.
I think it worked because he's going for an eBay pretty fast, getting Vultures and Mines immediately. I mean, yeah, so far so good. I do like that he's bringing in mind games. Like I was saying, I think that's the way to play against Crazy. You don't try and play a standard game here. Now, first Goon coming across, going to put some pressure on. But what? Yeah,
the problem is this SCV, the Citadel was at the wall, so he knows that's not there anymore.
Oh,
it was so easy to see that's not there anymore.
Now he's going to get in the main here, see the Robo as well. That's not a Robo. Where's the Robo?
That's the score.
Well, it's SCV just sitting here. Oh, the epic battle. That probe is not going to win that battle. What happened to the first Goon? Did it die? Oh no, it's just sitting in the wrong location. This Vulture actually coming up in here with nothing to oppose it. If this Vulture gets in the main, okay, the Goon pops out in the nick of time, but that means he can't go deal with that SCV as well. That could have been really dire for Pete there. Oh, you don't want to go out there, my friend. Mines are out. Now, Terran not saturating his natural yet. In fact, cutting SCV is pretty hard here. So Pete actually economically looking pretty good, but oh, this is a very dicey situation with all his mines out here. The Vulture a bit far away to run through this wall, and I suppose Pete's kind of... Okay, look at that, he blocks it. I love that move. Just being totally safe here, blocking the wall of a pylon while the Goon goes back in the main. Now, he went for a pretty fast Robo here. We don't see an Observatory yet. Ooh, he builds the shuttle. Reaver time, let's go.
This is very exciting if that ends up being the move. There is always still the option that it is just playing it to maybe Bulldog or do something else instead, but I would love to see a Reaver, and with that support band on the way, I think we're going to get it here. Let's put a little more pressure on Crazy with something that maybe does big damage, but not a big commitment if it goes awry like a DT play would be.
Yeah, look, I think this is going to be really strong because Crazy went straight into a whole bunch of Vultures, and he hasn't actually built in turrets yet. Oh, look at that, Beast Micro taking out that mine. And look at that, now we can hit this bunker. There's actually no tank yet. It's just finishing. The Marines are like, alright then, we'll fight him. And you know, Pete not microing the best does take out that mine. And another one, okay, maybe he's microing the best. But there's enough units here for Terran, I think, to take all this out. Unfortunately. Well, maybe on high ground. Oh no, that mine. Oh,
no! He tried so hard to survive that. It was so close. One day from retirement. Couldn't manage to get out of that.
I don't know about this push, though. You're pushing with one tank? Are you for real, Crazy? I don't know about this. Like
I think he purposely avoids saying, "Are you crazy?"
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I swear. But like, I don't know about this. This is a bit weird. Like, because even if he wasn't going Reaver, like no matter what he's doing, he's gonna have a few goons here. What are you gonna do with one tank? It has to siege like a little bit in front of the mines. Look at that, he's just getting right in there. I guess he wants to bait them onto mines, but you gotta be real careful. He's not even bringing an SCV for bunkers and turrets. Okay,
yes, they are. Though. Look, there's two right there.
God damn it. Okay, if he gets a bunker up, it's pretty deadly. But again, the Reaver going to be very helpful here. Is it out? It is out. Now, how's he going to do this? If he drops in the mines, I mean, he will instantly lose the game. But look at that. He can take out those Marines very easily with this, at least. There you go. And yeah, Crazy's probably going like, oh, crap. This is probably not where I want to be. And look at that. He's still not able to siege up. There's no anti-air with that if that Marine dies. And it's very low so far. Oh, that mine drag absolutely huge as well, taking out a couple of Vultures. Reaver dropped. Out of range, just cops a couple of free hits. But yeah, this push gets completely denied, and Crazy losing a couple of Vultures for his trouble. But that said, Pete's macro falling off, hitting almost 800 minerals here. There he goes. He is way up in workers, though.
Yeah, honestly, like, the macro falling off is not what you want, but, you know, you could take another Nexus, add him some gateways, so really, like, you could spend that money pretty easily. I'm not worried about Pete for everything he did there. Did manage to break out without any real issue. It does reveal the Reaver, which is a little bit annoying. You know, you're not going to get that big harass opportunity. Your opponent's going to be ready for it. You see, like, Crazy even has a Siege Tank in the main, super ready for it, the best they can be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like Crazy's setup because he doesn't have like a proper turret ring. If he still had 2 Zealots here, okay, there's a Goliaths, I guess, which will do the job. If he had a couple of Zealots with this, he could still definitely get stuff done because he doesn't have the turrets kind of surrounding. He's just working on it now. But look at that. He's gonna cruise his way over here, but I don't think he's gonna be able to do anything. If he flies in there, he's gonna lose this, and you do not want to do that. Well, here we go. Here we don't go. Here we go. Oh no, you need to turn around immediately. You need to turn around immediately! Oh, he's going to lose it. Oh. Ooh,
yeah, okay, so that didn't go great. Now, like,
yeah.
a big investment there. Wait, as
what?
it gets lost.
Why is there...
eBay was fine. I don't know.
What? Okay.
Scout eBay, no big deal. It was occupying some Dragoons' time, and realistically, though, like, the Observer is out. They still haven't swept the mine over at that 9 o'clock. Like, the third base from Pete still hasn't been taken.
These mines about to be extremely swept. No, actually, maybe moderately swept. And he's going to lose that goon, but I mean, whatever. Oh, it's alive. Huh, okay. Dude, he didn't kill the Vulture, though! Uh-oh. If Pete's paying attention to this, he's so annoying here. Okay, no, looks like the next will go down. A bit unfortunate, Crazy could have actually picked that off. Now, we see a very fast Arbiter tech from Pete behind this, which I actually really like. I think that's a pretty strong option here. But having lost the Reaver, this is exactly what Terran will do. You lose that Reaver, they're going, okay, I can push, but Crazy's putting himself in a bad position because all these goons are in the north. I don't think Crazy realized they were still there. Even mines going off, taking out the tanks. Crazy actually is throwing away his army here, getting a bit overly aggressive. One tank trying to limp away, but has to go the wrong way and get taken out. Even though these mines do a bit of damage, that's a disaster for Crazy, losing his entire tank count here.
Yeah, right as Pete tries to take that third base. That Vulture's still alive somehow, though. Like, still has not been detected.
Oh yeah, when the probes transfer.
Yeah, it could happen. But Crazy, he traded his army for the opportunity to get a third base. That's the eyes on the prize. He knows what he wants.
I think Protoss could deny this, though. If she comes across, like, what tanks does Terran have? Terran literally has none. So as long as Pete moves his army across the map, which here he goes, there's nothing in its way. Okay, he's not aiming his army across the map. Ugh. I feel like, again, Pete, like you say, being too much of a gentleman, not just getting in the Terran's face and messing with him. Okay, here we go. He's going to come. He's just hesitating a bit. That's all right. But yeah, there's like a tank now. Like, he can't hold this if Protoss actually goes there.
Yeah, really hoping that mines do some big legwork here, but Pete is being very careful, not moving away without the observers being in a good spot. But there's a lot of Vultures trying to run by here, but right to the rally. Plenty of Dragoons here, making sure. Does lay some mines. Ooh, is this the opportunity? Oh,
no.
Thank God.
Okay, this is going to do big damage to those probes. But at the same time, the third is getting cancelled. You know, some of those probes will make it, I guess. So still a win for Pete, I want to say here. How many probes laid it? 4 probes made it. And look at that, they're going to get held back, and they have to be careful they get trapped in there. And cancelling the third, pretty big deal. Honestly, defense at the front not even looking that strong. And yeah, Pete's still looking pretty strong here now. He has been cutting probes for a while. He was doing well early in the game, got way ahead, but now he's been cutting them for a long time. Has fallen a little bit behind, actually, but if 2 base versus 3 base, not the hugest deal. He should be able to catch up again, but that Vulture, and now that this is walled off, the Zealots have to try and come in. You see, it was worth it all along. Oh, but he didn't quite micro it. It does die. One of his nexus, unfortunately, has rallied across the map, so he keeps seeing these probes coming. But the first time he did it, I thought it was deliberate to scout, and I was like, that's pretty cool. We can see if the army's going that way. But this time, I think it's just a sacrificial... oops.
It's just a steady stream of scouting information. Like,
that's
listen,
right.
Vision is everything. So you pay $50 there. So no, I don't think that's what we're looking for to be intentional. Now, what I am interested in, though, is I did see it crazy. He added on the control tower. I don't see a science facility. If he goes into drops, that might be an opportunity to get some of this.
It's right above the starport.
God damn it, I'm blind. I'm sorry. Ignore me.
Nonetheless, drop could be very good on this map. I'm a big fan of Terran going drops on this map because the bottom right base is very vulnerable to it. And we see Protoss already having walled off the 9 o'clock or the 8 o'clock with no cannons. I mean, okay, you can't attack into this. Terran has recovered some tank count, but I don't know, Terran's going to have a hell of a time getting set, especially with this Arbiter already out. Now, what Arbiter upgrades have we seen? Any? Does he have Stasis or Recall?
I don't recall seeing either, but then again, I am completely blind apparently. So
you don't recall?
Listen, if you're gonna yell at the chat for their puns, you don't get to do that.
Look,
it's a yellow card.
The reason they can't use that one.
It's a warning.
The reason they can't use that one is because it gets used every time. All right. If it's original / not stale, you know. Oh, look at this! Taking out these observers.
More support. This army from Protoss is really starting to accumulate here, especially that shuttle with the 4 zealots. There's definitely gonna be an opportunity, but Crazy is doing a good job bleeding away from their natural, not in that choke, so it will be hard to engage on. We'll see if he wants to pull the trigger. I think they got enough force to muscle it down. The Glass are going to move forward here. This might trigger the move.
I don't know about this though. Oh, he did get caught a bit unseen. Those mines absolutely decimating all those zealots though. But I mean, there's almost no vultures here. So
the shuttles died before any dropping anything.
It doesn't really matter though, because he just doesn't have any vultures to back this up. The naked tanks, like, just spending too much time shooting those zealots, and now they're just going to get gunned down by dragoons. Nicely done by Pete. I think he's pulled it off here. Yeah, I mean, Crazy. I don't think he can recover from having his tanks reset again. Because how is he ever going to get to his third now? This is just going to keep happening until Terran's out of money. Wait, where am I hearing mines? Oh, the rally. That's a bit unfortunate.
Three zealots died to 1 mine. That's the biggest value I've seen in a while.
Still the probes, though. When's he going to start building cannons here? That's what I want to know. More mines getting laid in front of the post rally point. I mean, it's going to be good value, but he's still going to lose these vultures, right? And honestly, same as game 2, or game 1 rather, we see Crazy kind of getting on the map with these vultures, trying to lay mines, which is good, but he keeps losing them, like getting caught fighting dragoons or whatever. If you lay the mines and keep them alive, that's a good move, but I don't know. He really just needs to build up. Like, imagine he didn't send all these vultures down here to attack the third, and like there was some that died in the middle of the map. If he had them in that last fight, I think Crazy would have actually looked a lot better there. Oh. Rip Zealots though. Okay, he's getting a lot of value killing Zealots now, that's for sure.
And does discover the 4th base going up with these vultures, so I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything enough to actually cancel them, as these 2 cannons are about to finish up, but still having the knowledge of the expansion path. The fact that Pete isn't trying for the bottom right, he's going up towards that double gas instead. You know, I'm not sure if Crazy...
This is just what I mean though. Like, he didn't need to lose those vultures. They've done their work, they've played some good mines, killed a few zealots. They could have pulled back there, but once again, he lets them die. And this is a pattern we see repeat over and over. And this is why when you look at this army, there's only like, what, 6 vultures here. And the tank had obviously got reset because they all died earlier. Look at that full energy arbiter. He's just waiting to recall. But sorry, I did interrupt you. What were you saying?
Honestly, like, you kind of nailed it on the head there. The fact that Crazy not using some of the strengths as the way he's playing does give him. He has these super fast units, but he's trying to use them like they are just brute force, and sometimes they can be, but I think at this point we are looking for a little more finesse. Use the vision from the mines to get yourself in a good position. But
I want like, so badly for him to just fly over here and recall, even though it's like 10 meters away. I want to see that. Is this recall on top of the tanks? Oh, let's do something, please. Here we go. Here we go. EMP I don't think is ready. Oh my gosh, he's going to recall on top of the tanks. So sick. Look at that. Oh wait, no, maybe not.
Oh, it's dumb. It's dumb.
Okay, I thought he was going to recall Zealots, but yeah, that really did not work, did it? Oh my god.
I think Crazy StarCraft 2.
Someone clip that. Like... Someone clip that, please. That's so funny. Oh my god.
That's Crazy StarCraft 2. He's trying to make Blink Stalkers. Like, I got it. One-time use, but we can make some Blink Stalkers. Just warp some Dragoons over, like, one screen.
Well, I mean, if he recalled up on the 3rd, he would take it out for sure. But now, having lost all those goons, I mean, I don't know. Crazy kind of getting established here. I can't believe Crazy's here on his 3rd now. I'm not sure how this happened, to be honest. It looked like Pete was going to be able to deny him.
He didn't have anything up at the 12. Like, so you just fly it over.
If he had like 3 goons in there, it would have made a huge difference in this game. But now, again, like you say, Pete kind of being too much of a gentleman, letting Terran get away with stuff. Now, Crazy going to continue to lay these mines. And, you know, Pete taking way more damage to mines than he was in the first series, I will say. But, like, it's good. Every move he sends his vultures out, they're doing something useful, but I feel like there's no sense of preservation here. They move back a little there, and they're getting great value, because honestly, Pete's just kind of letting him kill Zealots when he could just use goons and observers to clean this up. But, I mean, look at the size of Crazy's army now. He's really coming back in this game. Now, Pete continuing to expand, which is good. But like you said about Eclipse, ultimately there's no place to build additional gates, really.
Yeah, it's like there's no second main, and you're not going to really be able to secure it. Like, what did we see at the end of that Polypoint game, right? It was like 4 base versus a solid 6 or whatever. You just don't have the options to be doing that kind of stuff on this map. You gotta definitely fight for
oh my
control.
God.
There is a stasis that goes down, I think, just to save the Arbiter.
Yeah,
but,
I'm not sure why he was going forward there, because even if you've got the best stasis ever, he just doesn't have enough army to attack. Now look at this, building up a bit more now, but this Terran Force looks pretty entrenched. +2 is finished. Now here he goes. If he gets a good stasis here, there's a lot of tanks available. Can he get one? These vessels not even having EMP research, that's a good stasis. But there's a lot of mines in the way. Not too many zealots in the north here. Some coming in from the south. There's a lot of vultures blocking as well. Honestly, those goons actually mind dragging onto the vultures a bit. Kind of worked out, but a lot of damage being taken by the Protoss army. I don't think Protoss has quite enough to pull this off. Is that shuttle full of anything? No.
No.
Oh gosh, no. Protoss army getting annihilated there. Pretty clumsy attack actually, because I feel like the units in the top kind of move command onto mines a bit. These units on the south really got held up, and I mean, even with these stasis, these are 2 narrow locations you're attacking in, and Terran was kind of just sitting there fortified. I don't think what you want to do is attack the fortified Terran position where he's just waiting for you, even with a stasis.
I mean, honestly,
yeah,
it's just never going to change either until Pete clears out those mines on the high ground pod. Like, you know the attack is going to come from this direction. It's so easy to be in a good position to fight it.
More probes getting picked off on the transfer. Although he's going to lose these vultures. Well, probably still worth it, killing those zealots. Oh, not quite killing those zealots? Okay, there you go. Yeah, probably worth it for Terran. Especially after winning a big fight, I suppose. But honestly, Pete's probe count is good. He just needs to take both the bottom right bases, and he is working on that. If you have both these bottom right bases as well as all the way up to the top left, you're looking pretty good here, but he does need a good move. I feel like the way this game is going, like, Protoss needs some kind of move, or Terran is eventually just going to split the map, and then the game is over. Recall in the main would be strong.
Yeah, I think so. Just getting on top of some of this production, so that way, as you keep, there's a lot of these scrappy fights where both sides start to lose some decent stuff. So it could be the way, and this will clear out the mines, but this is not what I meant.
That's not what I'm looking at. Look at the bottom right. A whole bunch of probes going to go down. There's even a Nexus and cannons here.
Oh no!
I'm not sure why he even sent the probes. I guess he was mined out, but he hasn't started the Nexus or the cannons. Okay, much of zealots here, but that is not the best unit. Clear out vultures, of course. Copying more mine hits. Okay, he's going to clean those up though. At the same time, though, Terran actually pushing the top left. I don't know about that. Protoss could potentially counterattack if he can just get through those mines. He has an observer here. I think as Protoss, you just go, okay, you have that base. I'm taking your main, because, I mean, what's actually here? There's not that much.
Well, I think Crazy wants to go for the top left to secure the 11 o'clock.
I mean, that's your ultimate goal, but this is too brazen. I don't think this is the time to do it. Now, where is the observer? Is there no observer with this? I thought I saw one. Oh, it went down to the bottom, so now it's going to be hard to get through these mines, but nonetheless, he's hitting. Okay, looks like Crazy has pretty good defense here, actually, and a lot of army coming back, so maybe Crazy does clean this up? Yeah, looks like he will, actually, and this game might actually end, because he just took out a base, he's really cutting off everything. EMP goes down the Arbiter. It got its stasis off, though. These goons getting good damage. More reinforcements coming forward for the Protoss. Ooh, nice Mind Drag again. But I think Terran has enough that he can just bring it back, especially with that full energy vessel. I'd really like to see some D-Matrix.
I know he's got EMP Shockwave as well, so really you got a lot of options for what you want to do here.
Well, when it's a small scale engage, I think D-Matrix is better. But yeah, okay. Protoss lost their entire army, and they lost this fourth. Although, he is just able to rebuild it, because Crazy pulled back, so that's nice at least. And although he lost the probes, the bottom right is still building, so maybe he still has a chance here. Oh, with that storm. Once again, Crazy just running around laying mines, although this base is well fortified against vultures now. Oh, the probes, though, coming at the worst possible time. Okay, he does pull them back, nicely done. A lot of Templars coming out from Pete right now. You know, all things considered, Crazy supply not super high.
No, because they keep fighting back and forth. No one's really getting to accumulate all the way up to that, like, 2 what are you looking for?
People in chat, EMP Shockwave is a drink, that's right. Oh, don't lose the probes. Okay, cool, probes fine. How the hell does a Zealot run in between 3 mines, have them all explode and be fine? How? You know,
have you seen how manly they are? They're like what are they by the lore? It's like 10 feet tall, like super athletes, like like one little mine. What?
Those are like submerged nuclear missiles, man. You know it. That's the name bestowed by Protoss, not by me. Now look at this, Crazy coming across, but honestly, his army's smaller than I would expect. I don't think he wants to go down this ramp. You know, all these scrappy fights, Crazy is actually looking pretty low on money, surprisingly. Even after everything we've seen, and oh, those Archons are useless now. Well, one of them is, okay. Well, if it has like 10 years to survive, it'll eventually get back to full HP.
You just make the shield battery, like you could make that happen.
Yeah. I think Crazy's making a big mistake pushing this way. More on that later. This no energy Templar is unkillable on the high ground. Okay, it does die. More EMPs going down, and Pete just kind of sitting there taking it. I mean, you can give Terran this space. You can pull back a bit. Still building more, but Terran is as well. Look at that. A single probe comes over. Start building cannons. Go on. You know you want to. I guess... Oh, he's going to do it. Oh, it's not going to work, though. I'm so sad. Oh, look at these vultures.
There's a probe in the bottom right that I wanted to see start a Nexus. That's what I'm really looking for. A couple vultures do manage to harass over by that 10 o'clock base, which that cannon's unpowered, so there's like no defense here until these goons finally get here. Mines are going to do some damage.
If I scanned and saw that cannon, I'd be like, oh, I better not send my vultures. So it works as like a scarecrow, you know? But yeah, he needs to put more cannons there for sure. Now, yeah, this thing, Terran's still trying to push forward on this axis, but I'm not so sure about this. These Archons are kind of useless. And look at that, Protostorm actually getting baited, so they're going to get crushed fighting with a small amount of army at once. Another EMP goes down. The Archons literally go up in puffs of smoke if you EMP them. And yeah, a lot of Protoss going to fall here for not that much gain, actually. Well, he gets a couple tanks. Oh, these vultures continue to harass. Great mine placement taking out those goons. And still just unpowered cannons. Oh, the Storm, as he dies, takes that out. Okay, here we go. Protoss having a really tough time holding on here. But a lot of unsieged tanks vulnerable to storms. Is there Storm? There is. Nice Storm doing a lot of damage there. Now Terran is gaining space, but he's steadily losing units. If Protoss can just build up big enough, he could bust this, but he doesn't have much left. Needs to get a good Storm.
Crazy keeps getting the better end of all these exchanges.
It's true.
Like, a lot of supply that Pete has is just probes. Like, the army is not actually that good. He cleared a path to get outside the natural and start really cutting off reinforcements, making an army really a pain in the ass.
Oh, but these vultures might actually die here, attacking this base with all the cannons. Yeah, he's killing more pros. Like I said, Pete actually has so many. This is not the use of your vultures you want right now. Okay, he's going to pull them back. I don't know. I still feel like this is possible for Protoss to break. Not easy, but possible. But look at these tanks come up here. Mines being laid all over. Pete unable to micro these goons away. Oh, slaughters them with those vultures. Now there's no army on the map. Crazy can just... Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Okay, it lives. Crazy can just send tanks around to whichever base he likes. Although there is no air-to-air here. I want to see the Arbiters come out and start chipping away at stuff. Here's an Arbiter just now. Is there an Observer with this army? No Observer! So these mines unbreakable. Another EMP goes down immediately. Oh, decent mine drags. I mean, more Protoss coming out, but more Vultures reinforcing too. Nice Storm. But it's only Zealots here now. They're not going to get through these Vultures. No way. That probe, did he just get a kill? I didn't see in time. I think that probe got a kill.
Finally, we see Crazy put a little pressure on the top left as well. He sent a couple Vultures, but they saw 2 cannons, but at least knows now. So tanks on the way. That should be enough to shut down that top left base, because there's no way for Pete to get anything up there to reinforce.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, probes not as good as SCVs against tanks, of course. And yeah, Pete not really going to be able to get out of here. Although, you know, the Vulture count is diminishing. If Terran doesn't reinforce, eventually Protoss will chip away here. And, you know, that Arbiter's going to work. He's got 1 kill, which is already a lot for an Arbiter. But GG, Pete realizing he's not actually going to be able to break out there. That makes it 2-1 for Crazy. Wow, I can't believe Crazy came back in that game.
I think Pete was just too much of a gentleman, too nice. There's definitely spots where it's like you really could have put a lot more pressure on so you can kind of break through there. And Pete was just like, nah, I have the 3rd base. I don't have to go nothing. Like, harass, what's harass? It's just getting real comfortable. So, you know what? It worked out for Crazy. You managed to hit their stride. And
now that the series is over, I have to say I wouldn't have expected Pete to win in a best of 3 against Crazy, but it was closer than I thought for sure. Crazy very close to losing that last game, but I guess Pete's like me. He's like, yes, I'll recall on his army and it'll work. I would have been like, yes, what a great move, but we saw what happened. Oh, great, NCX clipped it.
You should have seen the, like, I know I don't have the webcam, but if you saw the look on my face and you're like, what if he recalls on top of his arm? Like,
oh my gosh. Alright, so we're going to go into our next game here. Our next series, I should say. That game is over. That series is over. Tying it up again, 3-3. Neck and neck here in CPL Grand Finals. Crazy is a strong player. One of the strongest in Tier 3 for sure, but he does have specific weaknesses. Anyway, enough of that now. In the top right, in the magenta, what a beautiful color, we have Neon Sword. And the bottom right, in the blue, matching his name, I guess, we have Royal Blue. You know, the magenta kind of matches Neon as well, doesn't it? In any case, TVT coming up here. We have Royal Blue for DestrucToads and Neon Sword for, what do we call it? Flying SCVs.
Alright, buddy, you're going to have to walk me through this matchup a little bit.
Alright, here's what you do. You make tanks, and then you move them towards the enemy. If you encounter enemy tanks, you stop and you siege, and then that's it. But the step most people miss is moving towards the enemy. Most people sit back in their natural. But hey, this is tier 0, so I'm pretty sure they're going to move towards their enemy at some point.
I love that you were like, I'll tell you as fast as possible. It's like, we have time. We definitely have time for you to give me like a nice detailed explanation that we'll see as we go through.
Alright, but then I'm going to sit down and be like, alright, now for like a 15-minute discussion on the role of each unit in TVT. You know, positioning and like judgment and oh my god, I could be here for a while. Well, here's something that everyone wants to hear in chat though. This is what people really want to talk about. That depot is one tile too far to the left.
I mean, I guess something's got to spice this up, right? So yeah, let's talk about the depot placement, Batu.
Look at Royal Blue's depot; it's perfect. All right, let's talk about polypoint really though in TVT. Really though.
Yes.
So you have that high ground third right above you, which is a big problem because if your opponent sieges up there in front of your natural, you are doomed because it's too inefficient to break out of it. And if you can't break out of your natural, you can't control anything on the map. So you have to make sure you don't lose that. Now, the ways you do that is typically just normal Volta openings, which both players will probably end up doing here. And even if you lose map control, as long as you put mines in your own high ground before you do so, your opponent shouldn't be able to occupy it too quickly before you get your own tanks and push them back. But it does depend how it goes. If you have a bad early game, that can just lead into an automatic loss if your opponent occupies the high ground. As opposed to a map, say like, I don't know, Fighting Spirit, where it is a bit of a choke across the bridge, but at least it's not high ground, so you have a lot more potential to break out there. Alright, now Neon Sword coming across with a scout. He's going to find his opponent first. But Royal Blue does have his barracks in position to immediately scout Neon Sword as well. Both players going for gas here. Gas is definitely an option in TVT. Not going to see it just now. Crazy told me Royal Blue only 2 facts in TVT. Let's see indeed. Hey, Royal Blue, here for your game. Nice, dude.
A lot of players just showing up in time to not support their team, but just to watch their own game. They just want to get a glimpse of the glory. So, you know, always a fun time to make sure we got the people that are here so we can razz them real time. They can't do anything about it. Now, what I'm expecting to see, ooh, this SCV trying to get a little aggressive here. If you're like, we were talking about how important that high ground is for that third base. If you lose control of that, like that should really like force the other player to switch to go in air, drops, or wraiths or something. Right?
Well, that's the thing, you can do that, but I have to be honest with you, it's kind of the noob option. If you're sitting here going like, oh no, I'm contained, what do? I'll just like doom drop him or like kill him with wraiths. It's unlikely to work against a skilled player, and you just have to say, okay, oh no, I'm contained. If I don't break this container, I lose the game, and you put all your effort into breaking it is I think the way to go. If you're trying for that big doom drop, any player who kind of understands CBT will just know, like, okay, well, he hasn't tried to break me for so long. He's just planning a drop, and they'll just make enough turrets on every possible exit, and you won't be able to do anything. Now, we don't see a 2-fact coming up here, by the way, you naysayers in chat. Neon Sword actually doing a normal opening. I will say a lot of the time people who don't know how to play TVT just go for 2-fact, so I'm kind of pleased that Neon Sword does have alternatives here. Big player's going to go for an expansion pretty fast. Neon Sword losing the scouting SCV. Now, Royal Blue, I'm surprised he scouted all directions instead of just going straight up when he saw the timing of that scouting SCV, because I think you can assume that you're going to scout around 13-14. Most players do in TVT. If it's in 8 racks, you'll know it soon enough anyway, so you might as well send the SCV back the other direction. But nonetheless, he's going to find this CC pretty easy, I think, because the Marine's getting a bit out of position to deny that SCV scout.
Yeah, it looks like so far these players are doing very similar builds. Trying to look for any major differences, and like they are mining gas about equally as well. Is that first factory, you know, trying to get some vultures on
gets up the ramp. Oh, that's pretty huge. Seeing that it's 1 vulture, then machine shop is actually a big deal. When Royal Blue's going 2 vultures before shop himself, he can actually come across here and attack. Where is Royal Blue's Marine? Did he make one? Oh, there it is in his base. Shame, it was halfway across the map. It could join this attack, but definitely some potential for pressure here. Royal Blue going to take advantage of this. If he can gun down the Marines quickly before they do any damage, there's 2 vultures versus 1, and he can actually delay the CC, potentially go in the main, even kill even more SCVs. Has to wait for his other vulture. I do want to see him go in here. I think it's a missed opportunity if he doesn't. Oh, here he goes. And Neon's not actually moving out a bit. Oh, catches Royal Blue a bit off guard, though, actually. That was a really nice little move forward, where Royal Blue didn't expect him to be right there, but nonetheless, Royal Blue going to win the fight, if barely. Really wants to deny that CC. That's the main thing you want to do here. Then you just run away, because the second vulture's coming out in just a second. Oh, but he's a bit too slow, so he will lose this vulture. Or will he? Neon Sword does not get the moving shot. I'm surprised. Oh, another vulture coming up here, though. I think Neon Sword wins this fight still, though. Yeah, this is a big mistake from Royal Blue, not even focusing the injured one. Now Neon Sword actually has a decisive vulture advantage. This could actually swing this game a lot. But no machine shop for Royal Blue. This is extremely odd. Going straight in double vulture production without any upgrade. As soon as Neon Sword hits vulture speed, he's going to have an enormous advantage in this game.
Yeah, I think Royal Blue, I think, is going to be comfortable sitting back instead, because they got that armor really quickly, and they're actually going straight into Goliath production.
Well, Dan the Flow, if you consider rapping to be singing at least somewhat, I can't sing, so that's where that goes wrong. If it's a TBT related rap, maybe, because there's always a lot to say. Now, yeah, I think the Goliath's not really going to work out as long as Neon Sword goes for mines right away. Yes, Goliaths are good against mines, but if you have this much of a Vulture advantage, you can lay very dense minefields, and the Goliaths won't be able to get through them. But we'll see. We'll see how fast he moves out. And how fast he gets right now. He does start mines right away. And here's the thing. Royal Blue's looks superior right now, these two Goliaths. They will crush Vultures, but if he moves across towards Neon Sword's base, these Vultures will backstab. They'll kill every SCV before Royal Blue even gets to Neon Sword's base. And look at this. Neon Sword trying to come in here, assuming it was going to be Vultures only, but sees these Goliaths, there's no choice but to back up.
Yeah, he's got to send the barracks in to get some more intel about what's going on. And I don't know if we went far enough, but we do see 2 machine shops getting added on, so I think Royal Blue just getting those early Goliaths, making sure that Vultures can't go crazy on him, and he's going to transition into getting the normal kind of army. You expect a lot of tanks, maybe some Vultures, get those upgrades going as well.
Yeah, this is interesting. I think it's because he knew he'd already lost the Vulture fight, and he's like, okay, well, how do I not die to Vultures? And my natural tanks are good, but you need time to build them up. You get the Goliaths out, they really just hold it down, but he is giving Neon Sword the huge opportunity to just mine the crap out of this high ground and potentially take it for himself. Look at this, the mine's going to start to go down here. Goliaths are good against them, but it's still going to take time to break through this, and gives Neon Sword a big opportunity. And that's it. Neon Sword not transitioning to tanks just yet. Okay, he just starts his first one now, which may be a bit slow. Like, I feel like as soon as you see those Goliaths, you should just start making tanks, because you know your opponent's giving up on the Vulture fight. They're not trying to take any more map control of Vultures, so you have the Vultures you need, they'll lay their mines, and you just want to make as many tanks as possible to match your opponent's tank count.
Yeah. Now, is this something you, like what you saw Neon do? He laid a lot of mines that are all at the front. They're not denying bases. They're not getting like vision of drops or anything. They're literally all outside the front of the base.
Yeah, that's fairly typical because, like I was saying, if you take this high ground, and can hold it, you basically are winning the game. If there's a hidden base, you can find it soon enough. In this matchup, it's almost like economy matters less than position. Sometimes it does, in fact. So even if, like, say, Royal Blue is on the 6 o'clock, it doesn't matter, because if Neon Sword can take this high ground and cut off reinforcements, he will take it out eventually. So, yeah, this is pretty typical of what you see in TVT. Now, he is laying a few drop mines here, like you said. That is a nice move to throw those in. And as the game goes on, we'll probably see more mines around other locations. Now, scan is finished, but Neon Sword sacrificing the Vultures to keep these mines alive, which I think is a good move. Even laying more on the high ground here. I am intrigued you laid so many to the left, which I think might be a bit of a mistake. Oh, look at that! Royal Blue going to retake this high ground. Very nicely done there. Cognizant of how much time pressure is under, because as soon as tanks get sieged up here, he's in a world of hurt. So this really shows that like both players have a good understanding of the matchup here, knowing what they need to get done.
Yeah, we see those first 2 tanks actually halfway across the map. They're trying to get on that high ground right now, and still a couple more mines to clear out here. I wonder if Neon's going to go back for the move. He doesn't have the high ground advantage. But
I don't know about this. Yeah, oh, the mine though. Okay, there's mines not doing any damage. If those mines hit, then definitely Neon Sword can take this, but this is a bit dicey. Although Siege Mode going down first. Does not want to be stuck there on the low ground though. If enemy tanks can hit you from the high ground, it's a bad position. Royal Blue getting baited forward though, taking a lot of shots. Oh, but he's coming in with a big army now, trying to bust this, and there's just Vultures and tanks here for Neon Sword. No mines left in these Vultures, unfortunately. 1 mine goes off at least. Looks like it's going to be a fairly even trade, but Royal Blue is going to be the one who's able to still roll forward here. And honestly, both players' macro is slipping a lot, hitting over 1,000 minerals, but what does Neon Sword have right now? Okay, Royal Blue doesn't want to overextend here, because if you get too close, suddenly Neon Sword can actually pull a whole bunch of SCVs. Okay, looks like he's going to siege up there, and probably that's where Royal Blue's push stops. Rip that SCV. Oh, actually, no, it looks like Royal wants to pick a fight. No, he decides better of it. I don't think it would have been a good idea. But this is a very good position for Royal Blue. If he can deny the 3 o'clock, he's in a great position on the map right now.
Yeah, there's the other thing to consider as well. Royal Blue is just about to lose his barracks, scouting his opponent's base. And he's still only on 4 factories. That's not really...
Is it dead already?
He just lost it.
Oh, I see. Up here? Yeah.
Well, yeah, where Neon has his part in the nice position, full health still.
Okay, so am I allowed to, like, convict people of crimes in matchups?
Go ahead.
Taking a mineral-only base when you have other options in TVT?
Alright, so I was actually going to ask, because you're talking about positioning and high ground, all these things matter so much, isn't getting control of that base at least a good thing? Like,
why do you need a command center for
money?
That? Just put, like, a tank there if you want control of that location. Minerals are useless. You need tanks. After a certain point, Vultures don't matter. And the ratio of how many minerals you have to gas in a normal base... Oh, rip, those mines getting some value at least. Oh, gosh. Okay, does hit that tank. Okay, luckily takes out the rest. But yeah, this is nice to know here. Okay, look, if he's taking both, I guess, but then why not even just take, like, the top left or something? Because a mineral base really is not going to do much for you in this phase of the game. If you have another option, yes, it's better than nothing, but Well, okay, look at this. Royal Blue sending his whole army this side to come to the 12, but I feel like when you see this as Neon Sword, you just immediately go to this high ground. Just like, okay, if your army's over here, I'm just going to take your high ground. I don't even care. But look at this. Actually, Royal Blue trying to take his opponent's high ground. And actually, I think this is a mistake, because, yeah, Neon Sword can easily deny this, and he's giving up this location. If Neon Sword has some reinforcements, he's able to retake the 3 o'clock area. This is a big position Royal Blue sacrifice. Look at that. Neon Sword sieging up first. I don't know if sieging was the right move in this position. Maybe, maybe not. Again, looks like it's going to be a fairly even trade. But maybe Neon Sword... Oh, that mine, though. Oh, those mines actually killer. Yeah, I think sieging was not the right decision there. If he didn't siege, he would have gunned everything down. Nonetheless, Neon Sword going to win this fight and maintain this position.
Yeah, I feel like every time I see fights like that where it's so close together, maybe sieging some of the tanks, not all of the tanks.
It's a scaling thing. Generally speaking, the smaller the engagement, the worse sieging is, and as it gets bigger and bigger, sieging becomes better and better. And obviously, if you're just inching forward and trying to shoot at long range, sieging is better too. But in that case, when it's like, what, he had like 8 tanks, and like he was already engaging the opponent, he would have gunned down everything very quickly, I think, if he did not take the time to siege. Now, like I was saying, Royal Blue gave up a very good position here, and it is 3 o'clock, but Neon Sword hasn't been able to send anything down here, just kind of taking it now. And this 12 is still a little bit exposed, to be honest. Neon Sword needs to extend over to the left and take this middle map position. Oh, tank's very spread out for Neon Sword right now. He needs to be careful. In fact, that tank's probably about to die. Hang on, where's the vision? Oh, neither player has vision. There's the scan. But they hit the mines! Tank's so dumb. Oh, doesn't matter. Oh gosh, Neon Sword getting baited in here. That's actually really bad. He's going to lose that tank as well. Okay, no, pulls it back. You do not want to lose 3 tanks.
Yeah, I mean, we are seeing at least the next transition tech-wise. We do see that Neon Sword being the first one to start working on a starport so they can work towards whatever tech they choose to get here. They got that first weapons upgrade where Royal Blue, despite the very fast armor to get the Goliath, has not done any upgrading at all.
Yeah, this is a bit of an issue, but that said, Neon Sword's +2 is a fair way away since he's only just finished the starboard, has not started science facility. But that means Royal Blue's +2 is even further away if he hasn't even started +1, right? These vultures not going to the 12 o'clock, although Alien Mine's the top left. Look, I feel like Royal Blue's playing this better in general, because he's just coming out with more force, he has more of the map, he's laying these mines already preemptively, stopping any other positions being taken. But yeah, if Neon Sword does come out with +2, it's going to give him a pretty strong advantage. And look at this is a very good position for Royal Blue to take as well, because from here he can harass the 12 as well. That one tank can't really hold this off if a bunch of vultures come in. Well, we'll see if a bunch of vultures do come in. God, Royal Blue needs more factories, look at his minerals. Hello, Hello Bacon.
He went up to 6, right? So I guess that's not enough for the space count?
On 3 bases, like, probably go up to, like, 8. And, you know, take a couple more bases, but eventually go up to, like, 10, even 12 in this matchup. Sometimes you need a lot. I mean, Neon Sword going up to 7 himself as well. Honestly, there's no hard and fast rule, but when you see someone with 2,000 minerals, you can definitely say they could use more factories. Now, Vulture's coming out and fighting on their own here. Honestly, I don't know about this. He really should come with tank support here, but nonetheless, going to be able to clean up these tanks pretty well. Oh, not the best micro by Neon Sword, actually, but good enough. Good enough. Lays a lot of mines, just doesn't get the vultures out very well. It's a good trade, taking out 3 tanks that many vultures, for sure.
Hey, you're trading mineral units for gas units. So
exactly.
That's never a bad idea. But Royal Blue is taking this opportunity. Down the bottom left, 2 more CCs go down. He had a lot of money, so why not, man? Make your opponent do something about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is fairly typical in TVT. You reach a certain point where it's like, okay, well, he's not easily going to break me back from like halfway across the map, so I'm just going to take like 3 bases at once. Oh, this tank out of position cannot assist these vultures, nonetheless high ground, helping out a lot. And Neon Sword going to be able to bring the reinforcements in time here, so Royal Blue actually kind of getting baited in. You're going to lose a lot of vultures here, I think.
Did I just see a vulture like get shot with like 20 vulture grenades and still survive because of high ground advantage?
Hell yeah.
Dumb.
It's amazing.
Stupid.
Alright, I mean, I don't know. Neon Sword's defense is still spread pretty thin, and honestly, he's a bit out of position bringing this many tanks up here. Needs to reclaim this middle area. If Neon Sword does not reclaim this middle area where Royal Blue's barracks is, I don't think he's going to be able to take any more bases this game, and ultimately, you know, if Royal Blue has more than half of them, especially how many he's controlling right now, he will definitely win. Now, we saw that Starboard come up, and there is a control tower, so dropships are going to be made eventually. Looks like same thing for Royal Blue. Interesting that Royal Blue is going with double armory here. I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan of the armor upgrades in this game, unless you already know your opponent's going mass rape or something. But look at this huge bust coming down from Neon Sword. He's hitting this central position with everything. Bunch of vultures taking shots, very nicely done. But Royal Blue's vultures coming back in as well. So many tanks here for Neon Sword. Not focusing the tanks of Royal Blue though, so they're getting nice shots off. Well, looks like Neon Sword will maintain this position, but not inching forward as much as he wants to. No, he's getting pushed back. Those Royal Blue tanks have more range than I thought. Goliaths cannot fight tanks though.
Yeah, that barracks definitely helping out a lot as well. Just that free vision that's constantly there, having that scan. And you already see at this point, there's more. They're getting more and more stuff to manage. So APM is always consideration with these kind of engages. So having that barracks is very good.
Now, both players going into dropships here, by the way. You know, I think it's definitely the right move in Neon Sword to try and bust this position, but it could have been better executed. All these tanks kind of come around the corner when they could have come out in a straight line, then come straight down. And these kind of little things make a huge difference in TBT. Look at that. He has a bit of an army again, trying to find out where to bust, but neither location looked particularly weak. Again, I think it's just to dedicate maximum force to one of them and bust through. Looks like he's going to try and go south here. A lot of vultures to support are going to be very helpful here. Again, his army not very well arrayed, though, I have to say. But there's not much here. Looks like he's going to bust through this easily.
Yeah, nice little group that Neon found the opportunity to go and kill without too much risk here. Because actually, like, a lot of these fights, low-key, Royal Blue has been up on supplies. So the fact that Neon is finding these little engages, clawing that back, it's exactly what you want to be seeing here. But as Royal Blue gets these top and bottom left bases, it gets that 5 gas income. That's going to become a problem as he banks up a lot of very useful resources. Although he's up to 81 SCVs. At what point is too many?
It's already too many. I think 75 is plenty for TBT. Look, the thing is here, it's not uncommon you see one player a bit behind on supply but up in position, and they generally are actually winning, and I think that's certainly true in this case, that Royal Blue is a huge advantage here if you look at the position of his army relative to Neon Sword. But Neon Sword may be able to break through in the center here, and that could be absolutely deadly. Now, Royal Blue's dropship's not in use yet, loading up a whole bunch of vultures to harass, but Neon Sword one step ahead of him. His dropship is already on the way to harass, second one complete. And look at this, as predicted, Neon Sword breaking through here. If you can occupy this high ground, doesn't really matter how many units Royal Blue has around the map. This is a huge position, and there's really not enough to defend. But instead he chooses to loop back and attack the other force from behind, which is a good move as it turns out, because Royal Blue had unseed at the same time this dropship going down. But wait a minute, the dropships are crossing each other as these fights are happening on the map. I think Neon Sword saw it, but Royal Blue did not. You know, I kind of missed opportunity from... Sorry, say again?
He was actively controlling his dropship, so he definitely saw. And Royal Blue is going to retreat, just drop these units to help defend here rather than go for anything.
Stop it.
He was attacking the refinery, not SCVs. So these vultures are actually not doing anything. They're just going to die for free.
I feel like Neon Sword really needs to take his opportunity to bust this center. He's not going to get up on this high ground now because he gives Royal Blue the chance to reinforce. But these tanks are isolated and he attack from 2 directions. He can absolutely break the center position, but he really needs to make something happen here. He's not in a position where he can sit. He needs to attack. Especially with this 3 o'clock still not taken, and it looks like Royal Blue think of taking himself.
Yeah, I mean, especially Neon Sword now at the +2 upgrade. Like, he's working on 2-2, and he's going to be at, like, he's on the fast track to get level 3 weapons as well. So everything looking pretty good. Gun move forward here. Siege tanks versus Nah. Here come some vultures to help out as well. Royal Blue lay down the mines to make sure this fight goes the way he wants. Not before all these vultures get killed off. So Neon Sword does break through the middle and takes control. Yeah,
and he's clearing all these mines though, because there's a hell of a lot of them. Ooh. He still needs to break through up near his mineral only though, like this location is also key. Although having the middle of the map is good too. 3 o'clock still potentially a problem though. Alright, where are Royal Blue's dropships? They're back here. Where are Neon Sword's dropships? Does he still only have the one? I know he made his second one, but what did he do with it? I do not know. I'm really looking. Oh, he made a science vessel, which is interesting.
There's one by the 12, but it doesn't have anything in it.
Ah, okay. That's the one I was looking for. Okay, Neon Sword trying to move across and split the map, and that would be good because it would cut off any reinforcements coming to the top left, and then, you know, relatively easily Neon Sword clear out any vultures or mines and take it himself. But I mean, Royal Blue's already been on this basis for so long, he has a pretty good economic advantage here. And we can see how much gas he has backed up. That's a huge deal here. Well, needs to siege up right now. Oh, I don't know about this. Neon Sword pushing forward too far. Oh, he could have reinforced his position, but now these enemy vultures, well, we'll see. Yeah, they're going to lay those mines. Now, a D-Matrix is available just now. Is he going to use it? It would be key here. He does use it, but this is not the time to attack when his own unit's already getting pummeled on the left. This is a very ill-advised attack here into this huge line of tanks. D-Matrix does what it can, but Neon Sword losing so many tanks. I think Royal Blue are going to reclaim control of the center. Very sloppy attack there by Neon Sword. Oh, a Wraith even out to deal with this science vessel. Very unfortunate for Neon Sword, because that is a big gas investment. Ugh, those free vultures.
Yeah, he's trying to reinforce, he's trying to do more. Maybe when these tanks show up, that's what you're looking for. But yeah, the vessel's being pushed away by one Wraith.
Oh my god.
Still has this big bank. I'm surprised
so many free kills. So many free kills here. Neon Sword threw away like as much again as he lost in the engagement just now. And he's still going on. He needs to stop sending units to the middle. My god. Okay. Sorry, I cut you off again. What were you going to say?
I don't know, man. I'm trying. Let's see what's going on here. So that's completely fine here. Now, I know you hate it. I always bring it up, though. We're pretty late in the game. We're almost got the big bang.
No, he's going to make Wraiths. I swear to God, he's going to make Wraiths, alright? Please. It has to be Wraiths.
It's 5 starports, man. I don't know.
Yeah, you need lots to make Wraiths, too. You got to make a lot of Wraiths at once. Now, look at this. Neon Sword finally trying to take this top left, but not really in position here. Look at this Wraith just picking away, but Goliath finally shot to pick it off. Honestly, it already was worth it killing that Vessel, because that Vessel's worth 225 gas. There's an awful lot of gas in this gas-based matchup. This one Goliath going to gun down all those SCVs at this rate. Oh, he's got a lot of work ahead of it. He's going to have a long day. You know, if he was making Wraith, I'd think he'd wait more starports, actually. Oh god, these mines over at 3 o'clock. Okay, let me just take those out. Oh, look at this big drop Royal Blue's embarking on, too. On the left side of the map.
Yep.
Although
I like that though, because I think you can get control of that top left area. So you see that you're trying to take that out of base. Easy move to go for there. A lot of vulture moving forward, just mines everywhere.
Yeah, Neon heading for disaster right now. This top left base is about to get taken out, and with it, I think that's all Neon's hopes is up to 3 o'clock to take. But this is a very key position, and now it's fortified on the high ground for Royal Blue. He's going to try and drop it. What is he actually having there? Is 3 vultures. That is not going to cut it against these tanks, and so many vultures here as well. Oh, so many SCVs falling as well. Good thing he had way too many. This is like my TBTs. I was in up with like 90 SCVs, and I lose a base, and I lose like 30 of them. I'm like, yeah, I guess I have a decent count now. Vessel coming across, but I don't see how Neon Sword's going to reclaim this. Starports are finished, but not building anything yet. I still think he needs more. And if you're going to build these starports... Sorry, what?
He's also, like, about max, so he can't build a lot even if he wants.
True,
There's no point, like, barely transitioning. I think you wait until you lose a big fight and then resupply with a different type.
Or you just attack with your massive army. Look how much he has in his mineral only right now. Okay, Vulture's coming across here. Neon Sword's still dedicated to trying to retake this position, but it's going to be hard to pull off. Especially having lost that dropship to that Goliath there. All these SCVs...
Royal's loading up some dropships.
Yeah, I think it's a strong move, going for a Doom drop when your opponents are already on the pump, and there's really not many turrets here. Oh, he's going to drop the 3 o'clock. And that's one of the only locations Neon Sword hopes to take here. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, 2 Goliaths.
D-Matrix goes down, but the tank is out of range. D-Matrix on the Vulture would have been way more effective here. So, Neon Sword really not taking this back, but is that CC actually in range? I don't even know. But the drop going down at the 3 o'clock didn't quite work. Looks like Neon Sword's going to barely hold on, but no more tanks here. If he just drops again or attacks on the ground, I think he can retake it, but Neon Sword reinforcing pretty quickly here. There we go. Tank sieging in range this time. D-Matrix doing good work.
Well, now that some units have been killed, I see that physics lab got made.
No. Yeah. You don't need battle cruisers, Royal Blue. You could have just attacked on the ground. Why do people gotta make battle cruisers? I swear to God,
it's not need. It's not need. It's want. You want battle cruisers.
Well, nonetheless, these drops are still working, so he's still pummeling Neon Sword just with his tanks and dropships. Although a bit of a mismicro there, pulls back that tank, blows up his own tank a little of mine. Actually, Neon Sword gonna still maintain this position. Neon Sword still desperately trying to uproot these high ground tanks, but having a really hard time. 4 kills, 9 kills on each of those tanks. Such high value here. Yeah,
a couple of vultures managed to sneak to the bottom left, and if they went up to the main, I guess you would see all these starports blinking, so you know, get ready for the attack. But
he won't.
Unfortunately, does not get up there. She's going for the SCV harass instead, which you go for the gas SCVs first, like always, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, I think this late in the game, you just kill any SCVs you can. You don't mind which they're mining. Because you can see, you know, Royal Blue close to max and a big bank, so a like temporary disruption doesn't matter so much. It's just having like got the value, if that makes sense.
Sure.
And the thing is, early in the game, the gas mineral balance isn't as drastic as well, so still you just hit the ones of the minerals, I think. Depends on the situation. It was like 2-port Wraith versus 2-port Wraith. Oh, by the way, did he actually see those starports?
Well, I assume he did because he started a Valkyrie immediately.
Oh, well, that's not going to help at all against battle cruisers. I don't even want to know. Oh, look, he dropped more reinforcements in this top left. Oh, these tanks are all so low. Man, if we made a single Wraith, we can clear that out. Alright, Nilsa looks like he wants to attack the mineral only, but that is not going to work out. Finally building an eBay 24 minutes into the game. I can't believe he didn't have one until now. But I think Royal Blue is looking for another drop here. Bring drops back. But hang on. This is a huge attack coming in from Neon Sword. There's so many mines though. This is suicidal. Neon Sword is never going to get up there. So many tanks on the high ground as well. There's just no way.
Wait, there was an eBay. He has turrets at the 12. He got killed.
GG. Neon Sword realizes he's out of options. I think knowing the battle cruisers are coming. I didn't realize there was an eBay there. Huh, how'd it die?
I'm not sure. It was up in the top left, like floating by the base. So I think when the drops happened, maybe that was the opportunity to kill them. I'm like, no, he had an eBay, I think.
Crazy.
I thought I saw him floating off somewhere.
Well, I guess they do die sometimes. So that's only one game. Welcome to TBT, I guess.
Hey, that wasn't as bad as you're making it think. Royal Blue stayed pretty active, and yet sort of kept trying to fight their way through. It wasn't just a, I'll take the north and you take the south. See you in 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, you know, Royal Blue I think looked a lot stronger just in general. I'm kind of worried for Neon in the second game. All right, let's start up that second game though. Alright, in the top, well, middle, 12 if you will, we have Neon Sword still in the magenta, and the bottom left still in the blue. We have Royal Blue up one game in this best of 3. Royal Blue for DestrucToads, and Neon Sword for Flying SCVs. Man, they're tied at 3-3. Who do I root for? Or is it 3-2? Hang on. No, it's 3-3. Who do I root for? I know your answer.
Well, what do you mean you know my answer? Royal Blue's my boy. I gotta root for Royal Blue.
Right. Well, you're rooting for DestrucToads this whole time anyway, though, is what I meant.
I'm not rooting. No, I'm rooting for Protoss.
Well,
I'm rooting for Protoss.
Which team has more Protoss?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, okay, here we are on Ascension. Let's talk about Ascension. It's the same thing as Polypoid, but way, way worse. With the big high ground above your third. Either player occupies their opponent's high ground. As long as they hold it, that's basically GG. So, everything I said about Polypoid applies, but just times 10. Because that Blue Storm entrance, if you run as like 3 tanks on the other side, you're just not going through there. Ooh.
So what build do you want to see then? Like, what build gets you that early map control that's like, it's worth whatever economic hit, like, this is what you need to do?
Well, I think just opening into a standard 3-factory Vulture, like expanding on 1 factory, then going to 3-factory Vulture is the way to go. Because you should be able to reclaim your high ground, all else equal. And like the thing is, in Vulture, in early game, if your opponent's sitting on your high ground, they probably can't actually stop you coming out the choke, so at least you can try and backstep a bit. Now, Royal Blue going for a wall here, that kind of suggests he's thinking about 2-port Wraith, because typically in this matchup, you just don't see a wall. Because, like, why do you need to wall unless you're worried about 2-port Wraith? That said, he could just be going straight for a tank here, like no Vultures, and in that case, on a rampless map, it does kind of make sense. But I don't know, I kind of thinking that he's got something in mind here.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Ascension. I'm never going to write off that some people do weird stuff on Ascension, whether it's just not wanting to grind the games on it, or it's like, it's such a weird map, moving around is a pain in the ass. Like, I think this map, more than any other one we have in the pool, brings out people maybe not playing to their strengths or playing the standard stuff, like trying to throw some kind of curveball, maybe eke out a cheeky little win, as the SCVs are about to high-five in the middle of the map.
Yeah, I like to say they kiss. That's what you say.
Listen, we social distance here sometimes still. Like, you know, we don't need to be that intimate. They barely
social distancing in StarCraft, Zerg will never win a game.
Good answer.
Actually, Protoss will never win a game, because how are they going to deal with siege tanks? Like, they can't. The Zealots just run up and they're like, oh. Alright, so we do see Royal Blue still in gas, so I'm thinking it's pretty likely there's going to be that 2-port Wraith. Now, the problem is this is a little bit transparent. Now, here's the thing, that last game, it seemed to me Neon Sword, honestly, not a TVT expert. Just the way he's kind of using it, moving his units and like taking that gasless. I just feel like he's not as experienced in TVT here as Royal Blue seems to be. So it may be that he doesn't realize the wall. Okay, well actually, hang on, maybe he does. I was going to say, maybe he doesn't realize the wall is an immediate sign of 2-port Wraith. But he does get this second factory, and what you can do is you just bust down the wall. Doesn't matter how many Wraiths your opponent has, you will kill every SCV with your Vultures, and like if you get up a single turret, Wraiths can't do anything. So it can be a pretty good position. If he just makes like Wraiths immediately, I mean not Wraiths, Vultures immediately, he can probably bust down this wall, but there is going to be a machine shop. We're going to try and get a tank out here actually. Here we go.
Well, you keep saying 2-port Wraith, but he's making a second factory.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Really? That's a weird timing for it. I have to say, like, he could have got that a lot earlier. Well, okay, this becomes pretty advantageous for Royal Blue then, I think, as long as it doesn't get caught out of position. Because I think Neon Sword's concept here is he just goes for Vulture speed, catches his opponent with not very many Vultures, but Royal Blue looks like he's going to do a more regular tank-style 2-fac, which is just favoured, I think. But it could end in a pretty even opening if Neon Sword just gets mines down and they both just expand. We'll see. Why did he wall then? That's still weird. No, this is not the ace match. We don't exactly have an ace match per se, Dorisu. But it's a best of 19, and only 6 sets have been played. So this is the 7th set, and both teams even on 3-3 right now.
Yeah, so it's just as important as any other match.
Dude, we should have ace matches. Petition for next season, we have all the sets be even numbers, and then an ace match option. That would be sick.
How logistically it doesn't work.
You just have one person say, I'm going to be there at the deadline as the ace. That's it.
Oh, just have people be there at the deadline. Oh, it's just that simple, huh?
Okay, Neon Sword sees his opponent. Wait, he's going with tanks? Oh, okay, this is getting weird. I thought for sure he would be going for vultures with this proxy factory, but he's building tanks at the proxy factory and getting siege mode, but at the same time he has absolutely nothing at home to defend. I don't even know what happens here. This looks very dicey for Neon Sword. I think he's just going to lose in short order because Royal Blue is just A, producing more tanks, and B, is going to have a better position. Backstabbing tanks don't do that much because SCVs just counter them, like hard counter them. I mean, look at this, one tank coming in. It's sieging up. That tank can just sit next to it. There you go. Your tank's dead. And in fact, he lost a vulture on the map too. One sneaks through. I think Royal Blue just wins, man. Like, what can he do? He's producing vultures at home.
Yeah, it's not really how you want things to go. Even the Marines, they got delayed a little bit shooting the barracks, but they don't go through. Royal Blue, I think, could just go through the Blue Storm entrance. He's, being a little extra cautious.
Yeah.
All the units are killed, but still, he's in a great spot here, and as the reinforcements keep rolling through, he's going to just show up with 3 tanks, and what is Neon Sword going to do? There's no expansion. You're going to be contained in your main. It's not like you started a starport. This is about to be a nightmare.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything Neon Sword can do. In fact, Royal Blue, I think as soon as
that's cute at least. Look at Neon Sword landed the racks to lock it. It's like, no more reinforcements.
That is,
done with it.
That is pretty great. And that that's one of the several reasons you don't typically wall in this matchup. But like, as soon as, Royal Blue realizes there's actually nothing here, and I don't think Neon Sword can actually do anything about this. I mean, you can pull your SCVs, and you can probably technically beat this army, but like, what are you going to have left? You know, the reason you have an army is to protect the SCVs, man, so... Oh, that's it.
Even has the bunker so the Marines can stay useful too.
Not that they need it back there, they're just slacking right now. But yeah, every SCV will die here. The mine's going to stop the tank popping out.
Ooh. I mean, not a lot of micro. A tank is going to die to SCVs for free.
Yeah, but the tank is not even the most important unit here. Well, okay, the Vulture's dying for free. It's pretty bad. But he just needs to send the Marines and the tanks in there. Well, what was the phrase used the other game? Oh, playing with his food a bit. I'm surprised he's not sending everything in. Not sure what he's waiting for here. There's only one tank there, but we see Robo just sitting back, building up more Marines even. I guess he's waiting for these reinforcement vultures to kill this barracks and finally get out.
I mean, it's just on location units, so I feel like that seems pretty reasonable here. And I actually like what we're seeing from Royal Blue. He is getting an armory. If there is going to be some kind of shenanigan happening, I think starting Goliath production is the easiest way to make sure like nothing crazy is about to happen to you. We do see Neon Sword going for the starport, but like you just don't have units. You don't have time to be doing all this stuff. Yeah, this bust's not going to work because he doesn't have enough tanks to back it up. Oh, and his tank is firing at the barracks because there's no vision. Okay, it does take out the enemy tank though, but ultimately like he sacrificed a bunch of SCVs and a tank for one tank. Okay, well, here we go. More vultures coming in for Royal Blue. Oh, he does take that out. Oh yeah, here we go. Now the mine's going to get laid, I think. Oh, there's one. Yep. Oh, it's going to kill SCVs too.
Wait for it. And now he's going to run right past that tank, not in the gap to stop this. Although, again, I'm surprised Robo isn't bringing these Marines and tank forward. He really should bring everything he has in here. Once again, laying mines in this factory. This whole time, Neon's not only been producing tanks from one factory, but he produced a vulture in his proxy, got it in there, but unfortunately it was targeting a turret, and SCVs took it out. This game is just chaos, man. The mine's not well placed. I'm surprised Robo made that kind of mistake. But the Marines, turns out they're the counter to tanks. If Bugs Bunny was watching the stream, he'd be so happy right now. But the Marine's going to take out that tank. And that's, I think, going to be it for Neon Sword. Vultures are hitting his SCVs. GG. What did we just watch?
I'm not 100% sure, but that does make Royal Blue take that series 2-0. That was a very interesting TVT. If there's more TVT like that, I'm in.
So, like, when someone tells you TVT is, like, complicated and incomprehensible, if this was the only game you watched, you'd be like, yes, definitely, like, I don't know what's going on. It's like we just watched a totally different meta. The meta where both players have to open up 2 factories or something. Alright, so we are going to update the score. Royal Blue taking it very convincingly 2-0. Like I was saying, I think Royal Blue really just looked a lot stronger in TVT there. Kind of, well, I don't want to put it too harshly, but it felt like, you know, kind of he knew what he was doing more than his opponent. So DestrucToads in the lead again, 4-3. Let's jump into that next series, our last series for the night. See if we can tie it up again. Alright, in the bottom right, in the magenta, we have Vermin. Is that an AKA? I thought that was an AKA. Oh, it's Flo.
I'm not sure.
It's Flo.
Well, no,
Flo's yellow.
Flo's the other
oh,
guy.
okay, no, I'm getting mixed up. Yeah, it's Aegis. And in the bottom left, in the yellow, we have Flo. So this is actually an MG, like, what would you call it? Team kill, that's the word. I was going to say like Civil War. Yeah, they're both on MG. We have MG Flo versus MG Aegis, even though he's using a different AKA. So it's a ZVC. Aegis for DestrucToads and Flo here for Flying SCVs. Now Flying SCVs obviously looking to even it up after last series. But I'm glad we have a ZVZ to end the night. That's a pretty hype matchup, to be honest. I think it's one of the most intense, and you can see some very interesting stuff. Very intense little micro battles. The smallest thing can make a difference. You kill one drone in ZVZ, hell, you kill one Zergling, it's kind of like, ooh, he's winning.
Yeah, it's a little bit of the same from TVT, but just on a much like more refined scale, where it's like it's not this big drawn out as position. It's like, all right, 6 lanes or 7 lanes better concave, it's over.
Yeah, you're right about that in a way. It's like in TVT, well, your tank was one tile further forward, you know, you have the advantage now. But it's just so much harder for the game to end in TVT.
Yeah, now we're seeing both players, you know, 4-player map abusing that a little bit. No 9 pools, no crazy aggression here. We will have to see, is it hatchery first, or is it like the late pool? It looks like Vermin is setting up for the late pool instead. So is Flo, so mirrored builds so far. And just, you're going to beat each player on a nice little economic kind of situation. I think maybe prepared for the 9 pool and just wants to go somewhere with a nice little natural advantage against it.
I gotta ask, why do you call it the late pool, not just like 12 pool like everyone else?
Well, because at the time they had 11 supplies, I didn't know what they were going to do, and I'm covering my bases. I don't. If the less I make hard commitments, the less I can see.
Oh, I am looking forward to watching that clip when the stream is over of my idiocy. All right, so hatchery going to go down right away here for both players. That's what you do with this build. You know, this is a very balanced way to open. I mean, look, I'm probably jinxing the hell out of it, but you know I want to see like some crazy late game ZVZ like defilers and like, you know, crazy things going on. And I would say with this opening, it's the biggest chance of that happening because both players going to have a natural, so they're going to have more economy for stuff to go on later. They're both going to have a lair at a similar timing. Although I'd say the gas is actually one supply later for Vermin. He stuck in an extra drone there? No? Why does Flo have more drones right now? I don't know what's going on. Oh, the links. He made an extra link, my bad. That makes sense. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Vermin does look like he's more determined to put in the aggression. Maybe he's just going to go for link speed here and not even bother with a lair.
I hope not. That sounds awful.
No, it's strong, dude. Lings are a good unit. Somehow they're even better in this matchup than they are in PvZ. Look, he's building them up.
Yeah, just how much, like, I thought they got gas around a similar time. How did Flo start link speed at the same time?
No, Aegis gas was a lot later. Again, I'm not quite sure why. Like, you see he does have more links, right? But only by a little bit, and the defender's advantage means he's not really going to be able to attack here. So I'm not sure what happened there. A bit of a hiccup in the build, but it does look like Flo in a little bit of a lead. Now, it's not a critical lead by any means. Game's not over. But, I mean, he's looking a lot better right now, and there's still no lair. Oh, free ling. Wasn't I saying earlier? You lose one ling. It's like, that's pretty rough. Even getting a sunken here, with his Overlord seeing no lair. And look at this, a third hatch coming up. No, wait a minute. Hang on. No. It's not happening in tier 0, is it? State 0.
I mean,
State 0.
Are you getting worried about all these lanes but still mining gas?
State 0, please. It can't happen in tier 0.
What can't happen in tier 0?
I don't want to say it.
I
don't even want to say it. I'm just gonna not say anything for now. We'll see what happens. All right. But he's getting a third hatch, and he's getting it very far away from his other hatch. Looks like a TVZ build right now, except not many drones. And these lings are going to come across. Now, there is a good number of lings, but the sunken going up, even the second one on the way. Flo should be able to defend this, I think, pretty well. I don't know, that's a lot of lings, but, I mean, Flo has plenty of his own. Let's see the engage. Looks like it's going to set up a good concave, but sees the sunkens, immediately pulls back. The Spire is already on the way for Flo. How is Aegis going to defend against these Mutalisks? I don't think he really can with his third hatch all the way over there. Because he's going to make so many spores, and he literally has 9 drones. Looks like he's going all out with the Zerglings. He's building even more. He's just going to try and kill him before the mutas are out, and I think that is his only chance now. I think that's wise. Although if he's going to go for this third hatch, I think he should have tried to get it a lot earlier.
I mean, I think he's trying to play a little bit by ear here, and like, we just see lots of lanes going on. He's going to go for the break, which I love Flo's position. He's guarding these Sunkets enough where it's not going to be free, but he's staying right next to the ramp so he can block if needed. You see that big run by going through. So Flo, I think, is in a good position, can't get things going. Yeah, that drone down here for the rally. I wonder if that is going to be another building, and it turns out it will be. It's actually going to be the Evo chamber, I think, just to get health and block off these Sunkets, making it harder.
It is very strong, but I question the position there. I think it would have been better to the right, but it does still help. It still will be very strong here. Now here comes Vermin with the big attack. Not all his lings are here yet, but he's going for it. Here comes the second group as well. I mean, I guess in the melee units doesn't matter as much. And like he has a lot more lings than Flo. Will he actually be able to break through here? It almost looks like he can. But no, I think Flo with enough lings and nice micro pulling back ling, the Sunkens tank a little, is going to crush this. Nicely done by Flo. Knew exactly what he was up against and knew what he had to do to defend. And I think, oh, hang on, a few lings get in the main, but unless they kill the Spire, there's not really much they can do. Yeah, you get a couple drones here, but I don't think it really matters that much when your opponent has a Spire.
Flo's got enough lings left over too. I don't think he even cares about this kind of stuff, but I love what I saw Flo do. Like I was saying, really stand by the ramp, making sure it's hard to walk through. The fight, like they took the fight straight up, and then right when the ling numbers were starting to go down, the reinforcements came, he went right back to that ramp, making sure the run by couldn't happen. So Flo very heads up about where to position his lings to make sure that attack didn't get anything done. And we do finally see the mutas on the way, so we're gonna see Aegis. He's on that clock. He's got to make something happen.
Yeah, I like that Flo isn't like trying to run and try and kill his opponent's drone or something. He's just defending with this Mutalist, but I think is the right move. Because yeah, it doesn't matter, like, if you don't kill him for a little while, he still has absolutely no lair. The Overlord can see everything. And if Vermin runs in, he can kill every building before 2 Mulas kill his lings if he overcomes the defenses. And that is a hell of a lot of lings Vermin has here. This is kind of crazy. A couple more drones popping out. Oh, I don't know about this. Aegis trying to build an Evo chamber here, but I just don't see how that's ever going to work. There's just no way. Alright, lings coming in. And you know, there's not as many lings for Flo this time, but still with the Mutalisks here, they actually add so much damage against lings. And yeah, he's gonna crush through this, I think. Well,
yes, especially with the Sunken still alive. One starting to get low enough, does finally go down. There's barely any lings that do manage to get through here, but still a couple mules are around, not gonna be able to get too much counter harassment done. But Flo still has to be defensive. He hasn't been able to move forward and be aggressive in any situation here, so
Creep colonies still haven't started, so I mean Flo could just come across and kill the drones here, but I think he's still assuming this lings. No, he's coming now. He realizes now, like, it's time to end this. Now the colony's coming up, but I don't think they're gonna be done in time. It's gonna be close.
But yeah, I mean he had overlords in the base, so he knew that there wasn't any more lings being reinforced. He just had to clean up what was in his base.
Oh, it's not an AKA, it's a sub, people saying. So Vermin is actually a player name, my bad, because it was still listed as Aegis. So never mind. I didn't know we had to play with Vermin, my bad. Alright, anyway, like, the Spore's just not done in time. He's going to lose a couple meters here, but the thing is, he can go kill the natural anyway. There's no Spores down there, and he's just going to trade for drones here. He's going to like, okay, well, even if you kill all these Mutalisks, the number of drones I'm going to kill, I'm still going to be very ahead. Look at that, the drone's trying to pull away. Where are they going to go? Unfortunately, losing that Overlord. Man, I'm so embarrassed I was calling him Aegis this whole time.
Yeah, I was following your lead. I didn't know if it was AKA or not, but you sounded so confident, man. You lead me to the not the place I wanted to be, but free Overlord kills here. That Hatcher, like you're saying, going to be an easy target to kill as well. And
GG.
I think Vermin knows it's just going to be too much to go through. Good, solid game from both players, and Flo really earned that win, I think. Very tactical the way they played it out.
Let me just change the players list real quick. So it's going to be... Alright. There you go. That's the actual matchup, guys. My mistake. I mean, I like the strategy. Oh, and now it didn't happen, I can voice my concerns as well. I thought he was going to go Hydra for a minute there.
Yeah, no, I know what you were thinking, but no, I wasn't going to happen.
Not in tier 0, right? No way.
Well, no, I don't think, not even from that, I don't think they were in a position to, like, do what you want to do, because you need, like, money and time. You didn't have enough drones. You wasn't trying to mine from the natural. I just didn't see it happening.
Alright, in the 12 o'clock, in the teal, we have Flo, and in the bottom right, in the pink, we have Vermin. Currently Flo up 1 game in this best of 3. Here we are on Ascension. No ramp on Ascension, which can make a big difference.
Yeah, now, I gotta say, you made a bold move. You're like, I don't want to say it, because I'll curse it. We didn't wait for the series to be over.
No, it's not happening. I'm saying it now. I'm cursing the shit out of it. There's going to be no Hydras made this game. It's not happening, damn it. It's not happening. As the Hydrogen is building,
whatever you say, buddy.
Builds the Hydrogen. I'm just like, it's a funny looking Evo chamber, and then the Hydras are out. Why are those drones shooting in the air? Wow.
Is there any build you hate more than Hydra's ZVC?
I mean, I do dislike battle cruisers when you don't need to in TVT, but not as much, I suppose. I'm trying to think. Oh, proxy, like, 3 gates in PvC. When you, like, are going, like, Citadel on one base, and you're putting, like, 3 gates somewhere in a place on the map. It's happened more than once in CPL, and every time I'm just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Just build them in the main. Because, like, Zealots are fast. Like, what's the difference?
I remember on Cross Game, a game where that happened, and, like, Zerg was building up... Not Zerg, Protoss was building up to it for, like, 8 minutes, and then they attacked and it did nothing, and the game just ended. And then it happened on Silphid, like, the exact same thing. So, yeah, I'm getting pretty mad about this. Don't remind me.
Alright, well, look what we see from Vermin, though. You like this kind of stuff, right?
I do.
A pool, a gas, Overlord.
Whether you go speed or lair, I don't mind. Both pretty good options, I think. And if it's 12 hatch, if you go speed... Oh, okay, there's 12 pool. So Flow not in a bad position, but here's the thing. If you do go straight into lair with this, I think it's fine, because your mutas are out so fast, you can force spores out and take your own expansion relatively well. And it's a pretty even game from there. But if you go speed, I'm going to be a bit worried. Let's hope he doesn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, it is essentially, no ramps, so getting that link concave by the eggs is a little more difficult, I believe, than compared to just
M153, if you... Don't you dare. No. Look, I have wishes now as a caster, and they're not Hydras in ZVZ. I want to see infested turns, and I want to see, like, a hive ZVZ, where we get, like, defilers. That's what I want to see.
He wants Hydra, Defiler, Plague, ZVZ.
If you have Defilers, you're allowed to make Hydras. That's fine. But you can't just make them on Hatchery Tech.
Well, no. The Hydras get you there. They smooth the transition.
No. Now, Vermin went for Link Speed and Zerglings here. So, actually, I think he's in a lot of trouble because I don't think this is going to work. 12 pool kind of being the perfect counter to this. His Lings will be there first, but honestly, like, Flo should be able to just make enough Lings constantly that he can defend this. Now, the lair is on the way for Vermin and not yet for Flow, so he is still going to have the lair timing, but it's going to be a bit worse than if you just started the lair immediately. You could have a super fast meter time and really use that. A couple of drones even being pulled to defend. Flow knows what he's doing here. Oh, okay, loses 1 Ling for free, which is a pretty big deal, but I think he should have enough, especially with these drones there. Well, Vermin going to go for it, gets an excellent engage with the Concave, but a couple more Lings pop out for Flow, and we see even though Vermin decisively won the first fight with those reinforcements and the drones, he is pushed back. And thing is, now you need to get a Sunken as Vermin, but he's just made so many Lings, has not made an additional drone or anything like that. So I don't know about this. Like, I think continuing to make Lings is a mistake here when he needs a Sunken to survive in this scenario. Because now 2H lava production is up. There's no way that Flo just doesn't outproduce him with Zerglings.
Yeah, it's reasonable, but we do see Flo trying to get to the lair tech. Though Link speed kicking in, they managed to get in. If they can get a couple drone kills, that'd be nice. Actually put Vermin ahead on the economy, so
and it moves forward everything get done to take the engage, but with only 2 Lings. So actually kind of donates 2 Lings while he's doing this. Just a bit of an error. If he targeted the drones at the natural, I would have kind of liked it. Oh my god, he's getting another one. No, he does not. That is a pretty good move though. Now the drone count's even with. Oh, he gets a nice engage, gets a free Zergling now, but he keeps engaging with small groups of Lings here. He really needs to focus on what he's doing. Okay, the lair is done, but no Spire for Vermin. Not sure why not. Bit of a mistake here. Every second counts. Okay, just starts it now. Not in a good SimCity position, but not much you can do in this spawn. Okay, now he's continuing to put the pressure on, and Flo's Lings out of position, loses another one for free. Vermin getting the better end of the microfight somewhat. Drone's starting to mine minerals. Okay, he pulls back, surprisingly. I'm surprised he didn't stay right in his face. I mean, you both have speed. You might as well just stay right there. Okay, here we go. He's coming in for the next wave, and he has way more Lings now. Flo in a lot of trouble here. I don't think he can actually hold this. Okay, more Lings hatch, though, in the nick of time. Looks like he does have enough. Vermin forced to retreat once again. I mean, okay, again, there's no Sunken at home. Flo is going to have a moment where he can do a very powerful counterattack. Now, Flo actually cancelled his lair just because he figured he needed more Lings. The Sunken is coming up, but without the Spire above it, I don't know. This is not actually that defensible.
Yeah, I don't know if I like canceling the lair like that. Because, like, realistically, now Vermin's going to get these Overlords in there, and it's going to be very similar to the game we just saw before. The only difference, though, is that, you know, you don't have the natural as Vermin. You're not set up with the Sunkens and the Lings in a good position. So you get into the main, you can start chipping things around. And we see one Sunken being made. There's not that many Lings. And he's trying to save Larva for these Mutas so desperately here. Mutas are going to come out, though. And will that be enough? Because Flo's not immediately engaging in here.
Look, if there was a Spire above the Sunken, so you could do a good SimCity, I'd say it's fine, but if Flo does it just right, he should be able to bust. That's a lot of Zerglings, but every second counts. If the Mutas pop out, they will be able to make a huge difference in this fight, but here he goes. The Mutas are not ready just yet. A good amount of Lings around for Vermin. Oh, he's wasting too much time. The Mutas are almost finished. As soon as, oh, he's going to get the Spire, though. Okay, the Spire is a free kill, but I don't think it even matters when you don't have your own lair, because he's rebuilding. He doesn't even go for the Spire. He's trying to fight the Lings, but at the same time, it's a distraction for his own Lings to go on top of the Sunken, but I don't think he has enough left. Vermin's still already with superior Ling count. Mutas cleaning up these Zerglings. They get a drone, but I don't think that's the damage he was looking for.
Absolutely not. Killing a Sunken that can't come attack you, one drone, whatever. Vermin still has Lings back at home that he can use as well, and the 3 Mutas are now on the field. What do we have from Flo back home for anti-air? Remember, that lair got cancelled. The Evo Chamber is done, so there is one Spore. And
those spores are not in good positions, though. Like,
not really.
They do not cover the drone lines at all. Like, okay, the main one covers, like, the gas and most of it, but he can still hit on the right. And the natural one, like, hardly covers the minerals at all. It doesn't even cover the hatchery. At least I don't think it does. Like, if you hit from the very top left, I think you could hit that hatchery again. He's going to start another one here, realizing he needs more, and another one in the main. Okay, once those are done, he's looking pretty good. And yeah, Vermin needs to re-drone, because he's very poor right now, no natural. But with no lair, Vermin does have a good window to catch up again, and I think he should be able to. At least to an even position, if not better. Careful that Overlord, you don't want to lose that. Oh my gosh, that Overlord. Uh-oh. Oh, I guess he can fly out of range quickly enough, right? Right? Okay,
Maybe,
yeah, he does. Oh, it's dicey though. Okay, now this is all well defended. But Vermin can easily camp the entrance and drone up again, which he should be doing. Making additional Mutas as well. Yeah, you don't want that fight. You don't want to engage that. And yeah, the main pretty secure now. Can you hit that gas? Actually, I think you can. Oh, he's gone for the drones though. Does not have quite enough Mutas to one-shot them, so instead injures 2 of them. There you go. That Muta on such low health.
Regenerates. So once you don't lose stuff, not bad. Ooh, free reinforcements.
Oh,
kill, but unfortunately doesn't see it.
Oh,
ooh, lose the Muta. No,
yeah, I was gonna say it's a bit sloppy not to pull that back when you're not so healthy. But look at this, the gas not defending. He's actually hitting that spore with bounces too. Although it kind of just regenerates pretty fast when the bounces do only 1 damage. In fact, the spores have a base armor. It probably does 0.5 damage anyway. But he could keep hitting that gas. Why'd he back off? I mean, he forced this spore out, sure, but I'm not sure why he stopped attacking. You might as well try and kill it as well, which he should be able to do before the spore's done, but now he's given enough time. But his expansion is coming up, lair coming up for Flo. Everything normalizing so far.
And gets a moving shot on a Ling. I think Flo is looking for some scouting information. Since he had to retreat his Overlords, now that there is air in play, Vermin's going to try to take their natural and do something. A couple Lings showing up, but
not enough.
Flo still has Lings and a Sunken. Like,
yeah.
This is...
Like, if he like sacrificed his Mutas to hit the Sunken maybe. Oh, but look at this. The Sunken doesn't defend that. Okay, it sort of does. Only sort of though. Oh, it's getting very low. The Mutas can actually just come in and finish it off too. That is a really strong move. I love that.
Yeah, that's not bad. Oh, now has a window to start really harassing this base. We can force these drones to retreat. You know, at least get worse mining. But look at Flo's drone count. He's like well above Vermin. Vermin's still trying to put on Mutas, keep the pressure up instead of accepting that you're not going to end the game in the next minute or two and really setting up for the future.
Now, here's the thing. I think Flo could be counterattacking with his Lings. Not looking to do so. His Muta's drifting. They've got to be careful. They're going to range the other spore. But yeah, this is very hard for Flo to reclaim now. He needs to make a spore kind of closer. There you go. But oh, I don't know. This is costing Flo a lot. And yet the drone count is way ahead for Flo, like you said. Oh, don't get baited in. Oh, loses another Mutalist. That's really sloppy there, to be honest. Like, he shouldn't be losing these here. Still, though, doing huge damage so far. Overlord.
Yeah.
Oh, gets baited in again. Oh.
I really would just want Vermin. Like, he's taking the second gas now. I want him to see get more drones. But the biggest thing is, like, because this game's not going to end soon, this is a perfect time for Muta upgrades.
It's a good point, actually.
You have plenty of time.
Yeah, he could have +1 carapace done and be working on +2, and if his opponent doesn't even have +1 carapace when he has +2, that's just like such an advantage. There's nothing you can really do. Okay, looks like finally Flo is going to be able to reclaim this. That other spore kind of defending well enough that only bouncers can hit this one, and that will probably finish. But gosh, a lot of damage went down there just for the cost of a few lings. And, well, he did lose a couple of meters, but I wouldn't count it as a cost. That's more of a blunder there. And like you said, Carapace coming up. He heard you.
Glad to hear it, but still, like, its drone count did get a lot more equalized, so everything looking pretty decent, but now you gotta be careful with these mutas. Now, looking at Flo, he does finish the Spire, he does have his lair, he's working on a third hatchery as well. So Flo's gonna taste his economy he's been trying to build up this whole time and start transitioning to their own air game.
Oh, he's getting baited into spores so much. He's lost a lot. He's lost like 3 mutas, I think, to spores when he really didn't need to. And now he's taking more damage as well. He needs to be more careful of that. And here's the problem with Vermin's position. If all else is equal, when Flo starts building mutas, Flo does have these spores and Vermin does not. So he's very open to counterattacks here. And he needs to be very careful with his muta positioning. But look at this. Flo trying to pick up the Overlord, which is a bit brazen. If Vermin jumps on top of that, he can potentially kill a muta. But look at that. He's like, okay, I sense he's coming for me now. I'm going to pull back. And if he bakes him into spores, they do so much damage.
Yeah, and I like that Flo very quickly going to work on Carapace themselves. Like, it's good, it's just good, but it also, like, Flo's going to need time to build up their air army before they can do anything. So again, if you got time to spend, and get upgrades are definitely worth it. And look at Flo, adding on a bunch of lings a little bit out of nowhere. Now that all the air vision is out of the base, this might actually be a pretty big move, but this Vermin's Mutaflock getting pretty big. I think already up to 10 at this point. I wonder if we're actually going to see Flo crack and start worrying about Scourge.
Yeah, but he doesn't have like a big gas advantage though, so it's better to make Mutalisk because at least you can utilize the minerals because he has 22 drones. And like that's a number where, you know, you have a lot of minerals and not so much gas when you're only on 2 base here. So I think a Scourge would be a waste of lava, to be honest.
Well, yeah, the only thing that you can kind of get with it is that you can go Scourge and Lings, and it really kind of maybe setups for something big, but I think Flo's just feeling comfortable. They still have the drone lead. They can still just kind of build up this army and sit behind their sag defense without having to worry about anything for a pretty significant amount of time. But that air carapace is about to finish up. Is that going to trigger Vermin to try to be aggressive again? Maybe before he should. But he did take a third hatchery at a third base, so that could be even more gas in for Vermin. Actually kind of needs minerals more than anything.
Well, he's actually makes the spores here because you see he got the Evo chamber, but yeah, he never really caught up in the drone count, did he? That said, while Flo is stuck on these 2 bases, it's hard for him to make good use of his minerals, but he has so many Zerglings, and I don't think Vermin actually has any, like, whatsoever, does he?
Not really. It's all air, this whole thing. That's why I was like,
before
I started adding on and
okay,
laying, because I was really excited.
Yeah, now he's getting his own spores up, which honestly is not a bad move, I think, at this point. Both players actually going for a third base here. Now, I feel like Vermin could deny this third base as soon as his spores up, but the problem is he would be quite open to Ling counterattack. And here we go, Flo gonna send a Ling, see what's up. I think Vermin actually needs Sunkens, to be honest, because that's just so many Lings. If his moves get out of position for 1 second, like, colossal damage could go down. And remember, his Spire is not in a good SimCity position at all, so even with the Sunken in range, like, 6 or 7 Lings could easily kill it. And look at that, he finds the third base, just like that. Why the drones rallied here? Why do you even rally Mutalisk there? I wouldn't do it as a rally point, to be honest, because then just run his spores. Free drone. That's very unfortunate for Vermin.
Well, I thought it was a scouting drone, you know, for posterity.
Yeah, he sees opponent making mutas and lings. I guess it's CBC. 6 Scourge coming up for Vermin. I guess now he figures he does have the gas advantage, especially with this third base coming up. Okay, Muta's coming across here. Going to get an Overlord, but he doesn't want to get caught, so he has to be very careful. There's a lot of Mutalisk out for Vermin. Plus some Carapace done for Vermin, but it's about to be finished for Flo, so that timing window is going to close.
Well, I mean, we've seen this situation before earlier in CPL playoffs. I think it was Bojack.
Yeah.
Did a really good job of, they knew it's like, all right, I got my upgrades, I have more mutas, and they slammed a bunch of Scourge and went for a big attack.
That's right.
And the Scourge were the big thing that let that win the air war in a landslide. So
okay.
We're going to see if we're doing the same thing, because you can see he's got more than a control group, sets up everything to move out, and looks like he is starting to prep up.
There's no way he can bust over these locations with 3 spores, though. Absolutely, he could kill the third, but the problem is the Zerglings, right? So it's hard for him to move across the map. Now, he's continuing to try and build up the Air Force, not making any more drones taking advantage of the third base yet. Ling's going out in every direction, though. This is a great move by Flo, because Vermin is going to have a hard time dealing with Ling attacks everywhere when he has no units on the ground whatsoever. Well, this one is going to die. But it's a small price to pay to see where your opponent's mutas are. And look at this, he's just, well, he's going to work on an egg, which isn't high value.
One random Scourge just flew to the top right, hit the Overlord.
I didn't even see that. He should send another one, man. He's got so much gas. Might as well. That's pretty great. Why did he send one? What was it even doing?
I think he was going to use it as a scout, like, skirt the edges, and just like, oh, there's an Overlord there.
That's pretty funny. Okay, well, we see Flo droning up this third, getting his spore there. No, getting a sunken there, interestingly, which honestly is not the right move when his opponent has no ground units whatsoever.
Ling see the air move.
Yes, and I think this is where it's Flo. As soon as these units start hitting the third, you send your Lings directly to your opponent's base. Look at this, they're going to hit the natural, but this is a terrible idea. With 3 spores here, I don't think there's any way he can win this fight, and his opponent has so many mutalisks, not even bringing everything, there's a whole bunch back here. I think Vermin's making a big mistake, and he's just going to get slaughtered by these spore colonies.
Yeah, he's taking so much extra damage here. He didn't like get the vision ahead of time to like pre-clone the Scourge or get that good engage. Like everything just got clumped up. The Mutaglaves, I think, killed a lot of Scourge before they got any reasonable connections. And look at that. Like Vermin's Air Force was looking pretty intimidating. He loses everything. Flo gets to move out with a giant amount of mutas and all these Lings. And man, that is just the worst attack fated to do. Like that was never gonna work.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he just lost patience and. You know, that just shows that superior patience will win you games, right? So that's going to take it to 2-0 for Flo. Nice rhyme. And that means it's tied up again. Who'd have thought? At 4-4 in this series. Wow. That was a pretty intense game. But yeah, I don't know why he thought to attack those spores. Okay, but that is our last series for tonight, is it not?
I do believe so.
So what time is the EU match of the week? Do we know?
I never know. It's usually in the afternoon. I think it's around 2 or 3 o'clock, but I'm at work. I never get to see it live, so I never really get the idea. But if you're in the CPL Discord, which, I mean, I'm sure you guys are, you better be. If you're not, there's a command that you can use to join instead. But we do post that in the thing. If you're around, you'll get a here ping. So, you know, just keep an eye out for it. But there should be a cast tomorrow. We're going on for part 3. We got 5 groups that are going to cast this whole finals up, so stay tuned for more to happen because we're going to finish up this grand finals, and with that concludes CPL 7.
Absolutely. All right, I can't believe it's still so even though. Like so far, completely neck and neck. All right.
No, it's pretty awesome. I'm excited.
All right, that's it for us today. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.